effort against Iran. It's been a down day on Wall Street, even though most of the indexes hit record highs last week. Right now, the Dow is down 243 points, NASDAQ down 75. This is SRN News.
With the high price of new and used cars today, many drivers are choosing to keep their vehicles a lot longer. But with the average car now over 12 years old, most manufacturers' warranties have expired. I'm Danica Patrick. If your car is out of warranty, a single trip to the mechanic could cost you thousands. That's why smart drivers choose Endurance. If your vehicle is less than 20 years old, no matter the mileage, Endurance could have your car covered for the drivetrain, electrical, AC, transmission, and more. And Endurance is with you every step of the way, from filing a claim to paying the mechanic of your choice directly. And your rate won't go up no matter how many claims you file. Call Endurance now and choose the plan that fits your budget. Act now and get 1 year of elite benefits, a $2,000 value free.
For your fast free quote, call 800-303-4223. 800-303-4223. 800-303-4223.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at EnduranceWarranty.com.
It's 3 a.m. There's a leak in your ceiling, and you are officially out of Tupperware. Honey, the turkey roaster's full. Pass me the blender. Stop the Midnight Bucket Brigade. Call Robbie Pelt at Capital City Roofing. Robbie keeps his boots on the ground and his eyes on the job, personally managing every project to ensure his top-tier crew treats your home like their own.
Hey folks, Robbie Pelt here. You don't need a leak ruining your sleep or your cookware. Let my team protect your home. We'll get it done right. Call 277-3311 or visit CapitalCityRoofing.com.
Hey, this is Troop with Fairland Jewelers. I've been advertising at Blue Water for going on 3 years now. Since starting advertising at Blue Water, we have seen our business grow exponentially. And if you would like to see your business grow, I suggest advertising at Blue Water Broadcasting.
Blue Water Broadcasting is the #1 most listened to radio group in the River region. Find out how to put this reach to work for your business. Call us to find out how we can help. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by Victoryland.
Giveaways galore all summer long. Diamond Days Diamond Jewelry Giveaway and TV Tuesdays TV Giveaway with $185,000 in free play at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Victoryland Casino, off I-85 exit 22, Shorter, Alabama.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. The use of the extreme heat warning is a first since this product debuted last year. It's a step higher than a heat advisory. It happens when expected heat indices go above 110. Tonight, the chances of one of those evening storms is almost zero, but not quite. Overnight low temperature down to about 78. Tomorrow, more extreme, dangerous heat. The actual high temperature near 100, but the heat index maybe up to about 110. And still teasing the 100-degree mark on Wednesday as well. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. News and talk without the static. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Fighting corporatism, and they're flirting with collectivism. Taxing the rich is part of their seduction. I let them seize my means of production. Come and join our party, 'cause you think we're sexy. Democratic socialists. Everyone but Bernie is so young and sexy, hotter than the capitalist.
It's happy hour, come gather round. Greg and Pamela break it all down. Talking politics and the whacked out world. Every headline makes the chaos swirl. It's time for a smoke break. David drops in Monday and Thursday on Happy Hour. Master Thespian steals Tuesday spotlight on Happy Hour. Eddie stops by on Friday with some snacks on Happy Hour. Laugh a little louder while the whole world's hanging out in the chat. Will change your world on Happy Hour. On Happy Hour. Oh, on Happy Hour. On Happy Hour. Happy Hour.
Calling all stations. Clear the air lanes. Clear all air lanes for the big broadcast.
It is the big broadcast, and it's even bigger on Monday because Tom Moore is in the co-pilot seat.
Here flying the ship.
Yeah. My name is Greg Boudel. Welcome to the show. David Blackman coming up.
And here they are.
I would love to muster up some excitement and enthusiasm. I'm so glad you're here.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
In fact, we have other openings this week if you're interested.
And we didn't melt.
No.
It's redonkulous out there.
Oh, my God. Last I checked, the temperature, well, it's not official until you get it from Rich
In
Thomas.
Africa, they're saying it's Montgomery hot out.
99 currently.
Yeah, my card said 104.
My car said 100.
Yeah.
But we got to go by the airport, and they say 99 with a heat index of 111 with the dangerous heat and blah, 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 and all that bezel schmears. Here's the thing, I'm just absolutely freaking sick of it. Yeah. Now, there are some storms. If you're driving eastbound, you can see them, but they're away from the city, and the stuff that is around is moving from northwest to southeast, so it doesn't look like a very small portion of the metro. I'm talking from Millbrook south to Penn. La 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 la. I think that's not much.
Yeah.
And it confuses me because with all this heat radiating back up to the higher levels of the atmosphere, you think it would cool off, storms would flourish, and we, break the heat with some clouds and rain, but it ain't happening.
Yeah, it happened Friday night. It seems like when we went out to dinner, it cooled off a little bit, and then Saturday it rained, but it comes right back, steamy as ever.
And just doing, you're in great shape, but it just seems like doing the simplest thing. And all of a sudden, it's like I need a nap.
Yep.
And it's not because I'm old.
You're experienced.
No, I'm old.
I love yard work, and I regularly trim all like dozen of our bushes. And Saturday, I'm like, not doing it. Called my buddy, got him out. I don't know how they do it. I give huge credit to anyone that's working outdoors in this heat, be it a roofer, a landscaper. So kudos to you. Stop by the shop, get a free Coker of water, pick up some coins. Kudos to you.
I found a handyman who is good at everything. And he comes out to do work, and I apologize. First thing I do is apologize. He says, I don't mind the heat. His name is James Gillespie, Patriot Pro Services, and he's really good. He's a true jack of all trades and works his butt off. But he's one of those people who doesn't really care how hot it gets. And I would love to resume biking, but that is not going to happen until the temperature comes down. I'm not really completely healed. It's been a month since that memorable morning when I was in the taxiway to the operating room, trying to use terminologies you'll relate to. And little did I know what was waiting for me at the other end of that. Have you had a chance to read the Boom magazine column?
I have. It's good. And I like the pictures, the three different phases of it. It's good.
Copies available at Zaza's. Glad to see a stack of those there, but you can read it online at riverregionboom.com and just click through. I hate to think, I've got a regimen with Montgomery Men's Health, and I was thinking today, what would I feel like if I didn't have that? The boost I get from them. It's just, and I don't understand in late August. This is what, I remember in 2007, we were in maybe the worst drought, I think, in the time I was here. Maybe one of the worst in Alabama history. So bad that Lake Martin had lost so much water that boat docks were standing 20 feet in the air over cracked earth that looked like the surface of the moon. But that was I remember June, the first 7 or 8 days of June were over 100. Because the days are longer. The sun has more time to do its work. But the days are legitimately shorter now, by about 45 minutes, maybe closer to an hour. I'm not really sure. So with less time, how is the sun able to do more? Why is this the hottest time of the year? Where's that rogue cold front that manages to push its way all the way south and just bring us a little temporary relief? But bitching about the weather is not going to get the job done. But if you're feeling fatigue and you're complaining about that, then take a proactive step and call 334-440-3663, guys. Because in this heat, and it throws everything off. You don't tend to eat right. You tend to eat more for comfort. Because the low testosterone level ain't going to help you when it's this hot, that's for sure. So get it balanced. Find out if yours is, in fact, running low. If you feel like you're out of gas, way ahead of schedule, they can adjust that right there in the office, and it's a great and rejuvenating experience. Plus, if you have issues like ED or PE, those are so easily resolved, and it's not always pills. There are other solutions out there that are even more effective, but they're available through this board-certified urologist clinic, Montgomery Men's Health. So make the appointment. Take care of yourself, 334-440-3663, or you can book that appointment online at montgomerymenshealth.com. 19 minutes till David Blackman. In sports over the weekend, the most amazing thing that's the beauty of baseball. Something can happen in a game, even in a Biscuits game, that you've never seen before, ever.
Did you make it to a Biscuits game?
I was going to go Saturday, and the God's honest truth was I just didn't have as much as I love even when it's hot, but it was too hot Saturday.
It was too hot. And then you're sitting in that bowl, and there's just not a lot of air movement. And I think opening season that first month, and then later in the fall is about all I can stomach for the. But your Yankees are in the wild card.
Yeah, they're in okay shape. They're missing their three best hitters, and the rest of the team couldn't. My favorite line is they couldn't hit a bull in the butt with a bass fiddle if their life depended on it. You know who that quote is from, by the way?
I don't.
From a military person. Admiral Halsey, who was a guy of dubious accomplishment as an admiral. He made a lot of mistakes, but history remembers him very well. This event at Wrigley Field, something that with 25,000 plus men who have played Major League Baseball, nobody's ever done this.
Here comes Baez as a big leaguer for the first time. Swing and a high fly, belted. First pitch in the show. Baez homers. Look at that Cardinal dugout. It is not supposed to be that easy. Unreal. Swing and a drive down the line. Did he do it again? That ball is gone. He's got 2 homers. From 0-2 to a full count, and then the grand tour. 4-3 Cardinals. Swing, drive, well hit right. So Suzuki back. It is gone. It is gone. It is gone. 3 homers for Baez. Major League history at Wrigley Field.
Joshua Baez to see history, the first ever player to homer in 3 straight plate appearances to begin his major league career.
Amazing.
Yeah.
But baseball is a great equalizer, because Sunday he was 0 for 5. So the game can humble you as fast as it can make you a legend.
Yep.
Well, that's all I got. I'm
spent.
Out of
I'm
content.
out.
Yeah, that's it. No, seriously, we with the school back, we lose Master Thespian on Wednesday. Pamela should be here, but with her family situation, sometimes she can't make it in, and I just don't want to be here alone in the heat. I need some wings. Maybe she'll be able to confirm. But and Thursday as well, Terry Adams on Friday, I hope. He's got a situation too, so. Anyway, lots to talk about today. I can't really say I'm a huge fan, but I know who Hayden Panettiere is, and that was a shocker. Nobody dies of old age at 36.
Yeah, it was sad.
Yeah, I found out she was involved with a boxer, and I'm wondering, why would a woman, knowing that this guy has a switch inside that gives him permission to beat other people unconscious, that they have that within them, to do that for sport, quote unquote, and money, why would you think that he's going to be civilized the rest of the time? the history books are loaded with boxers who I used to live in the same building as Ferdy Pacheco in Miami, and I got to talk to him a lot. We always seemed to be waiting for our cars at the valet. It was nice. That was a nice life. And boy, he spilled the beans on a lot of the stuff. It's mob run. They're constantly trying to having to bail guys out or get them out of trouble with the law. A lot of it's domestic stuff. And I'm sorry, I'm no saint, and I've raised my voice around women, but I've never hit one, and I never would. It's not in my DNA to do that. I don't know what, unless it was total self-defense.
We're lovers, not fighters, Greg.
Yeah. Thanks. Saved us. And it makes you wonder what maybe the sense of protection, the dark, swarthy. They all look like they've had their heads punched into lumps.
Yeah, I didn't know much about her. I she was 36.
Yeah.
She has a child with that boxer, but I saw they said that an ex-boyfriend had some issues with domestic violence and a record that he came back into town but flew out Saturday. So, developing story there. They said no foul play, but it'll be interesting to see what. I think she had some issues with depression and some other
postpartum
things.
depression.
But sad nonetheless.
Very. It's terribly sad. I have the gift of chocolate in my bag.
The gift that keeps on giving, Clark.
This is prescribed by Montgomery Men's Health, but this is give you a little bit of an edge and feel free. They're just plain milk chocolate Hershey nuggets, and they're good for you.
Yeah. I thought about you this weekend. We started watching the new series on Netflix, the Pan Am 103.
I have seen that.
You watched all of it.
I got about halfway through, and I mean to finish it, but I just haven't been in the right space to do it. It's tough.
Yeah, it's good, though. There was another series of that from a perspective about a father who lost his daughter, and he went to meet, folks in Libya.
I saw that.
Colin Firth, was that the actor in
I believe
that one?
so, yeah.
But I like this one better, but we're only about 2 or 3 episodes in, but I think it's very well done.
Another gift from the religion of peace.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just keep swinging the door open for. I don't understand that at all. It came out last week. I think it was Thursday. The Dallas airport announced that they were going to install foot baths. Foot baths. Why? Why should we accommodate one group like that?
It's like the 0.1 percenters too. It's an expensive accommodation for not the masses.
It was the genius politician that they tried to sneak this through, and then once it became known, that idea got shut down like within 24 hours. It's not happening now, but it should have never been out there to begin with. The people don't understand what they're here to do. They just don't. And we're coming up on the 25th anniversary of 9/11.
Wow.
And it's almost like it means nothing. Like, oh, well, that was just 19 guys with a heart on for America, and they just had to take it out. Unbelievable how people just can't bring themselves to believe there are people that, hey, everybody else has to be eliminated. You are an infidel if you're a non-believer. You must be eliminated.
Yeah, I think there's a whole generation now that they weren't even alive, so it's
Actually, 2 generations.
Yeah.
About every 13, 14 years. But here's the thing. In a city, it's not Dearborn, because we already know about Dearborn, where everybody is subjected to the call to prayer, whether you believe or you don't. They just passed a law in the city council permitting animal sacrifice. Now, in Western civilization, that's called animal abuse. Now, you can't have, if Islam it's not just a religion, it's an ideology, it's a political system, and it's got its own laws. And those laws cannot be allowed to override our Constitution. If that doesn't work for you here, bye-bye. Go to where they welcome that, because that doesn't work here. We're going to take our first break of the afternoon. Brant McDonald will join us at 5:15. I didn't even check to see what the market was up to.
It's a little down.
little down.
Yep.
And I had a coin question for you. We were talking about Buffalo nickels this morning. I've got a friend who works for a vending machine company. Been with them for years. And he says, you'd be amazed how often you find a Buffalo nickel in the change bin.
You would be surprised how much change, nice coins, we deposit on a weekly basis to the bank. So if there's anyone out there coin hunting, roll hunting, I regularly take a lot of nice stuff to Max Credit Union, Buffalo nickels included. If they're a little worn down, we deposit them. So.
Oh, this just in.
Shortwave, take it down, quick. What's it say? Shut up.
All right, from Rich, temperature now 98 at the airport. The heat index peaked at 111 today. Thank God it wasn't higher than that. Like, at some point, it just all feels the same.
It does.
And the storms appear to be skirting our area from the northwest to the southeast this afternoon. Nothing imminent, so that's the latest on the forecast. Let's see how it's affecting traffic.
Traffic is brought to you by Baumhauer's. Start 2025 off with legendary buffalo wings from Baumhauer's Victory Grill. Baumhauer's has great food, service, and fun. See you at Baumhauer's Victory Grill.
Well, at the moment, light to moderate traffic all over the area. We do have an accident, though. Troy Highway at Merriweather Road. Please use caution if you're traveling out of Montgomery out Troy Highway. And around our area, light to moderate building afternoon traffic. We're already a little busy on I-65 and on 85. High school students, Trentham State Community College dual enrollment program lets you earn college credit while you're still in high school. Take the first step towards your college journey. Go to trenthamstate.edu for more information. Buckle up, Wendell Jake, Montgomery Skywatch Traffic.
News is brought to you by Budget Floors and More, your new best friend.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, these are today's top stories. A local man recently charged with drug trafficking is connected to a Montgomery anti-violence program. 32-year-old Patrick O'Neill Perry was arrested on Fairhaven Lane with 19 pounds of marijuana and $30,000 in cash. Perry has been actively involved in the Save Our Streets program, which receives funding through the city of Montgomery. Montgomery Regional Airport is set to receive a major infrastructure boost. Over $8 million in federal funding has been awarded for critical renovations and improvements at the airport. The Department of Transportation grant will go toward rehabilitating more than 9,000 feet of existing runway. The runway upgrade will strengthen core airport infrastructure and operational efficiency. A new retail and restaurant development is coming to East Montgomery. The Parkway Place shopping area will be located next to Academy Sports on East Chase Parkway. Ground is expected to be broken on the new development later this week. Phase 1 of Parkway Place is scheduled to open sometime in the summer of 2027. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
Hardwood, tile, carpet, flooring tools, and installation supplies. Find it all at Budget Floors and More in Montgomery. Big selection, contractor pricing, and personal service you won't find at the big boxes. Across from Publix in Del Reyta and online at budgetfloorsmgm.com.
I was in foot pain for 20 years, trying to give it relief, buying all these different insoles. Drugstore insoles, custom insoles. I spent thousands of dollars. I bought all these products, and not a single one worked. I really, truly needed to have relief in my feet. And the Good Feet arch supports were what gave me the relief I needed.
For over 20 years, we've been helping people like Teresa actually live the life they love without their feet getting in the way.
They wanted to make sure that I got something that my feet felt good in, not somebody else's feet. I love the fact that I can wear these arch supports in all my shoes. I have boots, I have cowboy boots, I have running shoes, I have walking shoes, I have flat shoes, I have heels. It makes me so happy. If you ask my husband, he will crack up because there is no store I would rather go in than a shoe store. I'm Teresa, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
We're located at 7341 East Chase Parkway in the shops at East Chase. Now hiring.
For more than 50 years, the Tears family's been keeping the river region flowing with Roto-Rooter. From drain cleaning to septic repair and installation, no job's too big or too messy with a local team you can trust. So when water won't go where it's supposed to, call the hometown experts who've been serving Montgomery for over half a century. That's 272-7130. Or visit rotorooteralabama.com. And remember, call Roto-Rooter.
that's the name. And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
Hi, this is Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop. Listen every Saturday to Winning Wellness and learn from experts in different fields of science and technology how nutritional supplements can help you.
Listen to Winning Wellness every Saturday at 10 a.m.
What if your next sales opportunity wasn't about selling? It was about helping local businesses grow. I'm Jennifer Pestricelli with Blue Water Broadcasting. We combine the power of 7 local radio stations with today's most effective digital marketing solutions, including streaming audio, social media, targeted display, and more. We're looking for an experienced account executive who enjoys building relationships, solving problems, and creating results for clients. If you're self-motivated, thrive on new business, and want unlimited earning potential with a local company, I'd love to hear from you. Visit BlueWaterBroadcasting.com and send me your resume today.
The River Region's first and only news talk station on FM. Live, local talk. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Staples has everything students need to make it through the year, like notebooks, backpacks, crayons, pens and pencils, and calculators. Plus, this year, we've also got everything teachers need to make it through the year, like cigarettes, red wine, Xanax, white wine, and if you want to get out of work entirely, Taylor Farms lettuce. Staples. June is only 10 months away.
I love that little bit. And hats off to teachers who have to tolerate the heat, the behavior, and navigate everything else in between. We love and appreciate you. Please know that. On News Talk 93.1 FM, we're moments away from the Idiocracy with David Blackman. I am so horribly organized because I want to talk about mortgages. I want to talk about Alabama Home Mortgage, a company we're very proud to have as a sponsor, and it's all about people. Madeline and Kim and folks, they have been part of what we do here for many, many years. And just on that note, when you're ready to buy a house, whether it's sooner or later, could be months or even a year down the road, the right time to buy a house is when you're ready. You know, we keep forgetting that it was nice when mortgage interest rates were in the 3s. They aren't. They're not ridiculously high, and certainly not as ridiculous as the twice I've bought homes with interest rates over 10%. And that makes just an incredible difference. It's what's comfortable for you. And I urge you take advantage of the experience at Alabama Home Mortgage to consult with them and put together a plan, because maybe now's the time and maybe now is not, but they can answer all the questions. Can't control mortgage interest rates and things like that, but they can at least give you an idea of what range you should be shopping in, get you pre-approved for that amount of money, and be a part of the experience for you from beginning to end. Everybody I know that's gotten a mortgage from them has absolutely loved the experience and praised them for taking so much of the stress out of the situation. They also handle VA mortgages, which are one of the best home financing options out there, with benefits like no down payment purchases. And by the way, you may have money in your house you'd like to take out for an improvement, put in a pool, cool off. Whatever it is, it's your home or it's going to be your home. Let them help you from beginning to end. They're so good at what they do. Call 334-567-4223, 334-567-4223, Alabama Home Mortgage, an equal housing lender, NMLS number 1586368. All right, on the other side of this break, David Blackman.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Looking for insurance? Or maybe you're just not satisfied with your current carrier? How does quality coverage with local service and competitive rates sound to you? The folks at Stark Agency offer just that. Whether you need insurance for your business, car, home, or life, Stark Agency can help. As an independent insurance agency with over 20 of the top insurance carriers, Stark is sure to find the perfect match for you and your loved ones. Visit their site at starkagency.com or give them a call at 334-263-5535 for a quote today.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by Alabama Wholesale Lumber, now open from 6 to 5. It's more than just great prices on lumber. From Trex decking to energy-efficient windows and Tamco shingles, Alabama Wholesale Lumber has it all.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. The use of the extreme heat warning is a first since this product debuted last year. It's a step higher than a heat advisory. It happens when expected heat indices go above 110. Tonight, the chances of one of those evening storms is almost zero, but not quite. Overnight low temperature down to about 78. Tomorrow, more extreme, dangerous heat. The actual high temperature near 100, but the heat index maybe up to about 110. And still teasing the 100-degree mark on Wednesday as well. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
All right, we begin our tour of the Idiocracy with Jeff Bezos and his weekly address.
I am Jeff Bezos. It's currently back to school time at Amazon, and I can't help but reflect about my own school days. It was, to say the least, challenging. By the age of 5, I was fully bald, and thus I was bullied relentlessly by my classmates. Trips to the boys' room were most traumatic. Each was a gauntlet of wet willies and atomic wedgies, culminating in being pantsed at the urinal, or worse yet, a swirly in the stall. It was then I plotted my revenge. I would grow up to form one of the world's largest companies and hire my former tormentors. Once these oppressors were in my employ, I enacted sweet retribution by not giving them any bathroom breaks. Class dismissed.
As the 21st century began, natural selection, the process by which the strongest, the smartest, the fastest reproduced in greater numbers than the rest, a process which had once favored the noblest traits of man, now began to favor different traits. A dumbing down. How did this happen? Evolution does not necessarily reward intelligence. With no natural predators to thin the herd, it began to simply reward those who reproduced the most and left the intelligent to become an endangered species.
Duh! David Blackman and Greg Budell present Tales of the Idiocracy.
Welcome to Costco. I love you.
Along with co-host Tom Moore, sir. We now travel to somewhere in Texas, Dallas vicinity, for a man who I consider to be the greatest and savviest political blogger out there, oil and gas industry expert, and it's a pleasure to work with somebody who's smarter than me, and I have two today. David Blackman, welcome to the show. Good to have you.
Howdy.
See, authentic Texas howdy, yeah. So we're going to start, we usually end with baseball, but we're going to start and end with baseball today. In fact, we earlier played the clip of not Javier Baez, Joshua Baez. Javier was the great free agent ripoff. He used to play for the Cubs. And the 3 home runs at Wrigley Field in his first game, which has never been done. And that's why we love baseball.
First 3 at-bats in the major leagues. He hits home runs. Unbelievable.
And that only happens every 126 years. It's an amazing thing. But Tommy John passed away. I always hate to admit I'm old enough to remember seeing these guys play, but I did, not only for the White Sox when I was growing up in Chicago, but for the Yankees. Yeah. Saw him in one of his last spring trainings with the Yankees. But his impact on the game, first of all, he belongs in the Hall of Fame. He won 284 games and had a long career, and his surgery changed the game forever because he was the first to have, ironically, the Tommy John surgery.
Right. Yeah, I mean, the surgery was named after him because he was the first one who had it, and now it seems like every other pitcher in Major League Baseball has had it. Some young kids, some young players are getting the surgery preemptively now.
Yes. My daughter dated a baseball player at FAU,
Yeah.
I had dinner with the kid, and he showed me his TJ scar. And said, well, you're probably going to need it, so may as well get it done early.
Yeah.
And I thought that was odd. Because how did so many pitchers make it through entire careers without requiring that? I don't like the way they're handling pitchers today. See if we can get 5 innings out of them, like that's some big achievement.
I know, yeah. 5 or 6 innings, you're the star pitcher. You're the ace on the staff.
Denny McClain in 1968 did something they never thought would be done again, even back then, and that was win 30 games, won 31. Yeah. And they started every 4th day, not every 5th, so they get more rest. They have certainly better trainers and workout equipment today, yet the injuries are staggering. And the amounts of money that are being paid out to players who are doing nothing is also staggering.
It's incredible. It's, of course, the owners want to have a salary cap, to prevent them from their own worst impulses from paying all these players who are injured for 3/4 of the season, like the Dodgers do with Blake Snell and Tyler Glasnow. They're paying between those two guys over $40 million this year, and they're getting maybe a dozen starts out of them combined due to various arm injuries. I think Snell has already had Tommy John surgery. But Tommy John, your point about him belonging in the Hall of Fame is absolutely right. And there's a lot of players like him that, if the standards had been what they are today, would have been first ballot Hall of Famers. Tommy John's one of them. Oral Hershiser's one of them. Dwight Evans from the Red Sox is one of them. Dwight Evans was maybe the best right fielder to play the game during his career, other than Roberto Clemente, the years that he overlapped with Clemente, and hit 370 home runs, something like that.
Didn't they put Dwight Evans in? I thought he made it in.
Did he make it in? I would swear he's not in the Hall of Fame. If he is, that's great.
Is Dwight Evans in the Baseball Hall of Fame? Asking an expert.
Yes.
Here's an answer from baseballreference.com.
He was inducted. Oh, he's in the Boston Red Sox Hall of Fame.
Red Sox Hall of Fame. Yeah.
I agree. He does belong in. He was.
Yeah, he does. It's just crazy. And there's Rocky Colavito ought to be in.
Yeah.
So many great players who, if Colavito he hit 386 home runs, I think. If he'd hit 400, he'd be in the Hall of Fame. There's these magic numbers back then, and there still are. But I mean, if Jeff Bagwell from the Astros, who so many baseball fans never heard of, unless you were an Astros fan, if he's in the Hall of Fame, I mean, what does fame mean? And Dwight Evans isn't. I just don't know how to explain that rationally. And it's just, there's a bunch of them like that.
Extraordinary accomplishments. And I read a great article on The Athletic, even though it is owned by the New York Times, what might have happened had there not been a strike in 1994. And my love for baseball was diminished in that event. I was able to get most of it back, but not all of it. And the idea that they're even thinking about doing this again just...
Yeah, they're going to do it too. I mean, we may lose the whole season next year.
Wow.
Well, the damage will be incomparable to 94 if they can't get it together.
Yeah.
I'm almost hoping that Trump intercedes in that and forces them. I mean, maybe the National Labor Relations, but nobody wants to hear. I mean, I get it. The owners, for all the money the Dodgers have, it's got to hurt to write Kyle Tucker a check for a $60 million salary when he's had like 7 home runs and dropping
Total
balls in
washout.
the outfield. It's just
Complete
horrible.
bust. Yeah.
But
Edwin
no better
Diaz,
for-
same thing.
all
Complete
those
bust.
guys. Dante Bichette that the Mets got from Toronto. Squat. Vladimir Guerrero didn't sign with another team. He signed with the Jays, and I'll bet they'd like to have that one back for $500 million. He's got 7 home runs this year and has yet to hit one in his own park.
And he's got 12 years to run on that contract too.
Yes, it's going to be a long 12 years unless something turns around. So, again, I don't mind stars making the money, but, the owners have a right to see some production. They get nothing back. if the player underperforms. I mean, there's no rebate system in place. And I think it needs to be studied. I just think there are some athletes who either lose the incentive, lose their edge, when they know they're set for life.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's got to affect your work ethic one way or another. The last thing I would say is the owners are as culpable as the players. And they have an antitrust exemption from the federal government, Major League Baseball and the NFL. And I think one thing Trump could say is, okay,
you're right.
You guys are going to lock these players out and you players are going to go on strike. Well, let's take a look at that anti-Trump exemption and see what we need to do about that then.
You're right. That was a Supreme Court ruling in the 1920s.
Yeah.
And it is what protects baseball. And I think that's a brilliant idea. They need to start waiving that antitrust exemption.
Yeah. Because there's no reason for them to have it. How do you justify that now? In the 1920s, okay, whatever. I mean, that was a different world.
That's the kind of decision you expect from Ketanji Brown, not from,
right.
or somebody that really knows the law. I shouldn't have gone there.
We could talk about that all day and people would turn this show off. Okay, we better get to something else.
Well,
I think we had a lot of baseball fans out there.
Yeah, I think so.
See that guy up there on the right on the Fox Business screen?
I do.
Byron York?
Yeah.
He was my boss at Channel 10 in Miami.
Get out.
He was such an incredible guy to work for. And years after I was here a few years and got established, he came on the air with me. We did an interview together. He was the producer of the 530 News for the ABC affiliate in Miami.
What's he doing now?
He's a national star. He's on all the Fox channels, and he's talking.
He's the editor-in-chief of the Washington Examiner. Great writer, great political writer.
But he's a fun guy. He's got a great inner nerd, and he used to love some of the weird stuff I did on TV down there. We don't have time to talk about that right now. But I'm glad that we took a moment to honor Tommy John. Class individual, and totally changed a sport forever by being brave enough to undergo a procedure that nobody else had. So where would you like to start? I see Eric Swallowell's name is surfacing again.
Yeah, Eric and Fang scandals popping up again. We got this report at Just the News that declassified Department of Justice documents prove the FBI knew that Swalwell had this relationship with this Chinese spy and knew that he was getting illegal money from the Chinese Communist government. And what did they do? They did nothing. This was during the Biden administration. They didn't do a damn thing about it, which just shows how corrupt the FBI was and probably still remains. It's just an amazing thing. All the stuff we keep finding out. And of course, there's a blackout on reporting it from the major networks, New York Times, Washington Post,
Well, he's had to pay a price. He's not going to be the next governor of California. And yet, astonishingly, and the polls say it, Steve Hilton has no chance. California apparently is very happy with their ridiculous and billionaires fleeing on a daily basis.
Yeah, and they're fixing to run a bunch more of them off. With this wealth tax that they're apparently going to approve. Stunning to me that the voters would approve this, but apparently they are.
Well, communism depends on the undereducated and the people who want free stuff, but they just don't understand. In fact, I played a bit to open the show today. Apparently, and you tell me if you've seen anything on a parallel basis here, but apparently the socialists are selling themselves as sexy, the sexy socialist summer. I kid you not. Hassan Piker.
Which one of them? Hassan Piker? Okay, the guy in the Mao suit. Yeah, I guess that's sexy. He's a big,
hotness
tall
becomes-
guy, at least. Yeah.
Hotness becomes an essential part of left-wing campaigns, so says The Telegraph in the United Kingdom. But it's a paywall, so I can't get the rest of the story. But we have
Okay.
a song. They are the least sexy people in the world.
I'm trying
I
to
don't
think.
care. I don't
Yeah,
care
I
how many
mean-
ounces of silicone they add to AOC's boobs. It's not going to make her any smarter. It's not going to make her sound less like a 12-year-old girl. And people just don't, the fact that they don't understand. I'm hoping Elon, we know he's going to spend, Trump has a ton of money. They need to make a direct connection between socialism and the Nazi Party, because that's what it was based on.
Yeah.
How'd that work out for everybody? You're always calling Trump a Nazi, and what party did Hitler embrace? What economic system did he employ and inflict on Germany and all the other countries that they didn't work out too well for everybody, did it? And communism. Find me a picture of a happy communist from 1945 to 1989, other than one of the leaders who might have been smoking or something, but
Yeah.
and the alcoholism rate in Russia. I remember reading in the 80s that they outconsumed the world in alcohol by a wide margin, and that the death toll and the number of social issues it was causing was staggering, because there was nothing else to do but drink and
Yeah.
numb
Drown your
your
sorrows
problem.
for having to live in that society. Yeah. Have you noticed that speaking of sex appeal, Democrats, they're trying to sex up John Ossoff now, the senator from Georgia, the little pajama boy senator from Georgia. Now suddenly he's being portrayed as a big Southern He-Man that's going to take on Trump, and they're trying to turn him into a serious presidential candidate for.
If they're going to
2028.
sex him up, they need to change his last name. It sounds like he did something awful.
Yeah, it does.
Quit Ossoffing in the bathroom while the door is closed.
You stop that.
Yeah, I mean, that's just an awful last name. It needs to start there. They don't have anybody that I can see in the White House. I'm not ready to believe that America's gone that insane yet, but we need some improvement on the other side here. We need, this is just not working out the way that we had hoped with energy independence and lower oil prices. And what's the latest you're seeing in polling that's jumped out at you? Oh, by the way, I know you're going to yell at me, but I'll take the risk. Tallarico in Texas. I mean,
What
I
about
heard
him?
Ken Paxton said the other day, we lose Texas, we lose the Senate. We're done.
Yeah, that's true.
Is he really ahead of Paxton
No,
at this
he's
point?
not. No,
I
no,
just
both of. So I mean, the two latest public polls have Paxton in the lead barely, but both campaigns' internals have Paxton firmly in the lead already, and it's going to widen.
I would think.
4 years ago, when Abbott was running for re-election, and was Cruz on the ballot in that year?
I remember
Yes,
the Cruz
Cruz
veto
was
race
running
had to
against
be-
Beto O'Rourke in 2022. That's right. And no, Cruz and O'Rourke was back. I mean, the governor ran against O'Rourke in 2022 and beat the hell out of him.
Yeah.
But at this point in the campaign, that was a very close race. And then Abbott ends up winning by 14% of the vote. And all the other Republican statewide followed that pattern. And that's what's going to happen this year. I mean, it just is. And Paxton will run behind the governor, 3, maybe 5%. So maybe he's going to win by 7% instead of 12%. But at the end of the day, these races aren't going to be that close. And, Paxton is further burdened by the fact that jackass John Thune still hasn't authorized the Senate campaign committee to send funds into Texas yet. And so, he's He's got $9 million on hand. He's not broke or anything, but it'd be nice to get another $5 million infusion from the National Republican Party. So, and the RNC as well, which is flush with cash, $128 million, zero debt.
Democrats had to mortgage their building, didn't they, to have money? Aren't they bankrupt?
I mean, and what did they get? Some paltry amount for that. I mean, their building is a big old building right by the Capitol in Washington. And I think they were only able to get a $15 million loan on that building, which is wild. So
if they're so popular, where's the money come flowing in so we can get a really good socialist economy going here?
Yeah, well, for the Democrats, they get to keep raising money through Act Blue for some reason, which I still don't understand why the Justice Department hadn't shut that down.
Yes.
And so, they're bringing all this money in from China and other places overseas and fraudulently putting it into their campaign. So they don't really need money from the DNC. But the Republicans don't have that luxury, and they need to start distributing cash around to these close races, which I know they're planning to do around September 1st. But you need to get going. Early voting starts in some of these states in mid-September.
And continues into February in some states.
Yeah.
Late voting. Like how many more do we need?
California and Arizona, yeah.
Can we win Michigan against El Sayed? He is not.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, Rogers is going to win that race.
Good.
We're going to win the race in Ohio too, which is going to follow the same pattern as the Texas races. These off-year elections are weird for polling. And the other problem is that the polling industry itself is now so corrupt, has been bought and paid for to fake polls rather than try to accurately gauge public opinion now. There's only a handful of polls. I mean, there was a poll today. What did I just see? Which race was it? I don't remember what race it was. Anyway, when you look at it's called Progress. A polling group was polling which race? The Michigan race? I think it was the Michigan race, and showed El Sayed ahead. And then you look at who the pollster is, and it's just a left-wing activist group. It's not even a legitimate polling organization, and yet it's being published out on X and retweeted over and over and over again by these boost accounts. And it's not even a legitimate polling group, but it gets reported as if it's a real poll. It's not a real poll. So
I just don't want to think we're that close to the deep end yet. Back to the initial point on Swallowwell, who was going to be the next governor, and now I don't know what he's doing. Maybe he's turning up on milk cartons. He has vanished. But
he ought to be lawyering up and preparing to be prosecuted by the Justice Department based on these declassified documents. But who knows?
That's the thing. Trump can make all the statements he wants. These things need to happen.
Yeah, they do.
And I have no idea why they're not. If the evidence is there, go after Ray and start showing people we had a coup d'etat here. We had a government in place that was actively trying to take down an administration using hoaxes and scams and the power of the deep state, and somehow make that known. It's not going to happen on its own, and it's been way too long. I thought we'd see some of this a year ago. Swalwell gets kicked out of the race, basically, but then nothing.
Then nothing, yes.
And that there needs to be some follow-up to that. It's
and Ruben Gallego, who was his running buddy, guilty of exactly the same thing Swalwell's guilty of. And he hadn't even had to give up his seat in the Senate. And nobody's even talking about him.
Hey, what's
anymore.
Your take, Kirsten Sinema? What an interesting story that's been.
Yeah, that is an interesting story, isn't it? Yeah,
I guess they're going to shoot Bodyguard 2 now.
Yeah, and she was known to be pretty, when she got elected, she made no secret about her sexual proclivities. So I mean, there was never much doubt that she was a pretty active lady. You know, and just the specifics of it, you don't really know. But yeah, apparently with her bodyguard, right? Wasn't it a bodyguard?
She's still in. She's been very quiet, other than her proclivities.
Right.
Yeah. Well, yeah, she's back in Arizona doing something. I have no idea what she's been doing.
A new website called onlygovernors.com.
Only governor. Anyway.
See the governor of Arizona like you've never seen her before.
Yeah. Well,
for just $3.95 an hour, you can. It's unbelievable stuff, but that's why we call this the.
That's why they call Washington D.C. Hollywood for ugly people. It's a pretty active place.
It sure is. We have one piece of good news we can pop in before we take our first of two breaks this afternoon, and that is that prescription drug prices are coming down a little bit. But again, the messaging, the marketing on all the accomplishments that this administration has made happen is horrible.
Yeah. I mean, there's no reporting on it, but it's the first time in 60 years we had a year in which prescription drug prices actually fell.
Yeah.
Which is extraordinary. I mean, the previous 10 years, they rose by an average of 18 to 19% per year. Okay. Now we've had a year where the prices fall and no one in the media can be bothered to report that bit of good news. That's pretty good news for Americans and crickets and no one in the Republican Party making any real effort to trumpet it out.
Me. They're the worst. They're absolutely the worst. What was his name? Moran, who I think he left ABC, but he admitted that there wasn't a single conservative in the entire ABC News division. Not one.
And there's not one at any of the networks. I mean, they've all been, it's not one at the New York Times. There's not one at the Washington Post. There's not one anywhere other than Fox News. And that it's become near unwatchable at this point. So yeah, I can't even turn it on sometimes.
I watched a documentary. I've always been fascinated by tornadoes, and I study specific ones. And I watched one on the Mayfield, Kentucky tornado of 2021. And that was a monster. That should have been an F5. But they showed video of Joe Biden coming in. Now, this is 21, when he wasn't quite as demented as he is today. And just stumbling around, not knowing where he's going next and making a couple of ridiculous statements like he knows something about tornadoes. And that's not to be a sidebar, but that's what we had. And they totally ignored it. And now all of a sudden, I don't know what the latest on him is, but the debate.
His prostate cancer has spread. I do not think he's doing very well.
He's basically been nothing for years. He spent half his presidency at Rehoboth Beach, eating ice cream and sitting in a chair under an umbrella. Well, who knows what made all the decisions, and well, we can take a break now if you'd like. I have to go do something for my mental health that requires nicotine. To keep on top of the big stories throughout the election cycle and, of course, other news as well, please visit davidblackman.substack.com and subscribe. And if you'd like insights on energy that you won't get anywhere else, because this is a career oil and gas industry expert, that's blackman.substack.com for David. Subscribe. When I see it in my inbox, I'll even interrupt the morning show to take a quick scan. And oftentimes I played a clip off of there this morning, too. We'll get to it after the break. But we'll see you in about 10, David. Thank you.
Okie dokie.
All right. News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV. When it's this hot, everybody should have a go-to heating and air conditioning company, because you just don't know. But on a day like this, you don't want to come home and find it's hotter on the inside than it is outside. And that's exactly what can happen. We're proud of our brand new partnership with Robbie's Heating and Air Conditioning. I have been with the Clark family for many, many years. They know their stuff. What you love about Robbie is that he learned from the best and practices his 20 years of experience. Analysis, diagnosis, he can do everything from install a new unit to just make a simple repair or just give you basic maintenance for $149 a year. You can have that and that guarantee of priority service. He is available 24/7. And absolutely, for a guy that's got to work in the heat, he's one of the friendliest people you'll ever meet. I don't know if I could be quite that cheerful doing what he does. 245-3644, 245-3644 here in the 334 area code for Robbie's Heating and Air Conditioning.
Traffic is brought to you by Dillon Rings. Dillon Rings has great watches and beautiful rings. Or have Josh design a piece of jewelry for you. Shop Dillon Rings now at 119 Brown Springs Road. And check them out on Facebook.
It's 4 o'clock.
We had an accident earlier, Troy Highway at Meriwether Road. Now an accident on I-65 southbound on the ramp to Highway 31 at Hope Hole. Got a minor accident there. Traffic building, interstates, boulevards. Prattville, Millbrook, Wetumpka reporting light to mostly moderate traffic. Keep it here. We will keep you updated. At McKenna Nissan, you can save up to $6,000 off Pathfinders, up to $5,000 on Rogues. At the lowest tax rates in Alabama, and it's worth the drive. McKenna Nissan, exit 212 off I-65 in Clanton. Buckle up, Wendell J. Montgomery Skywatch Traffic.
Hi, I'm Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop Wellness Center at 8161 Vaughan Road. You know, with over 30 years experience in natural wellness, I've seen countless health fads come and go. A few years ago, we added a patented technology that actually activates your stem cells. It reverses the aging process at the cellular level. However, you do need proper hydration and targeted nutrition. At the Herb Shop, our advanced scanning and testing technology allows us to accurately assess your nutritional needs and get a customized plan for you. Come in today and see what the Herb Shop can do for you.
Beyond the Forecast with Chief Meteorologist Shane Butler. Growing up in Elmore County.
I grew up here. I lived here as a kid. I experienced the weather here. So I have knowledge that goes way back. You know, I experienced my first tornado as a kid. I was probably about 11 years old and eclectic. Writing that out and experiencing that really gave me the passion about weather. We made it through it, and it gave me an experience that I'll carry in a lifetime.
Shane Butler, part of the Action 8 Weather Team, your weather authority.
Today's show is brought to you by Karma. Having a rough day? Well, guess what? It's probably because of something bad you did 12 years ago. Thanks a lot, Karma.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. The White House is ordering a major reduction in military drills with a key ally. The president has directed the military to substantially reduce joint exercises with South Korea. He says the annual drills actually send a hostile signal to North Korea. He noted he has a relatively good relationship with Kim Jong-un. The president also cited South Korea's recent refusal to join the U.S. in its effort against Iran. The cleanup continues today on Hawaii's Big Island after a close brush with Hurricane Lala over the weekend. The storm did not make landfall, nor did it cause any deaths. It is blamed for a lot of damage, sweeping 100 homes off their very foundations. The storm weakened to a tropical storm on Sunday. It was a down day across the board on Wall Street at the closing bell. The Dow was down by 272 points. The Nasdaq off by 84. You'll find more on these stories at srnnews.com.
Hey, y'all, I'm Willie Robertson.
And I'm Corey Robertson.
We partnered with Echo. It's a new platform, not just streaming.
Movies and series that are safe for your family.
Echo.
I love a podcast.
Plus, Echo Daily Devotionals.
Echo. Hey, Willie, what is Echo?
Echo is my pet squirrel. Okay, now, Echo is not just faith-friendly, it is faith-driven.
Be a part of something better.
Echo.
Echo.
It's where I want to be. That's EKKL.com.
Subscribe now.
What if your healthcare costs were guided by community and care rather than corporate profit? That's the power of health sharing, a nonprofit approach that prioritizes you and your lifestyle. NetWell is community-based and built on compassion and affordability, with members supporting each other's needs. Members share lower expenses and more control over their healthcare. If you're looking for a better way to manage healthcare, It's time to explore health sharing. Learn more at netwell.com.
At Montgomery Men's Health, we saw a bunch of patients last month. Almost none came because of an ad. They came because something happened. A fight with a wife who finally said, "Get help." A breakup. A new relationship that made them aware of things they used to ignore. A photo a friend tagged them in. One guy said he just stared at himself in the mirror. And that was enough. If today's your day, call right now. 334-440-3663. I'm Dr. Smith, urologist and advisor to Montgomery Men's Health. Built on almost 15 years of treating men in Alabama, one patient at a time. Dedicated to ED, low T, and male performance. Here's what happens when you call. We book you this week. We'll get a lab in an hour. For ED, we walk you through your real options at the same visit. A plan before you leave. Don't let today turn into next year. Call now. 334-440-3663. That's 334-440-3663. MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com.
Do you suffer every time you try to wear good-looking shoes, but you don't want to wear ugly shoes just because they're comfortable? The Good Feet store wants to help you wear heels, boots, and dress shoes again in comfort.
We're located at 7341 East Chase Parkway in the shops at East Chase. Now hiring.
Mr. Electric presents the most electrifying story of the day. For service, installation, and upfront pricing, call Mr. Electric at 245-1566. Here with today's high voltage news, it's Greg Budell.
407, the electrifying story of the day changes. But I just came across a clip of the guy that David Blackman was mentioning a few minutes ago, John Ossoff. And this is they think he's going to be the nominee. I hate to say it, but I can see why they're maybe moving in that direction and away from AOC because the socialists have caused them. It's too much for most garden variety Democrats to stomach. I can see where he'd be a threat. We will talk more about him and other issues with David Blackman in the minutes ahead. It's all brought to you by Mr. Electric. If you have any need for an installation, repair, service, Mr. Electric employs nothing but top-notch electricians, master electricians who can do everything from install a new fuse panel to a ceiling fan, whatever you need. If it involves electricity, have it done by the best in professionals. Visit MrElectric.com. You can book an appointment there. If you have an appliance acting up and so forth, don't wait on those things. Those can become fires, and they are thorough and devastating. That's MrElectric.com.
Weather, a service of H&H Carpets, where right now, get a load of this, listen close, you get a house full of carpet for $19.95 installed. Unbelievable. They're located at 6450 Atlanta Highway, just across from Walmart.
Rich Thomas weather.
Well, hi, everybody. The use of the extreme heat warning is a first since this product debuted last year. It's a step higher than a heat advisory. It happens when expected heat indices go above 110. Tonight, the chances of one of those evening storms is almost zero, but not quite. Overnight low temperature down to about 78. Tomorrow, more extreme, dangerous heat. The actual high temperature near 100, but the heat index may be up to about 110. And still teasing the 100-degree mark on Wednesday as well. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Quick check on traffic with Skipper, then back to David.
Well, we have a new accident on I-85 southbound right before the interchange. About 6 vehicles are off on the right. One truck is against the center divider, but all lanes are open. Folks are slowing down. That's causing a backup from Jackson all the way up to the interchange. We also had an accident earlier, 65 southbound on the ramp to Highway 31 at Hope Hull. Watch out in case those folks are still there. We'll keep you updated. At McKinnon Toyota, they have 3.9% financing on Tacomas. At the lowest tax rates in Alabama, and it's worth the drive. McKinnon Toyota, exit 212 off I-65 in Clanton. Buckle up, Whittle J. Montgomery Skywatch traffic.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers.
You obtuse piece of flotsam.
This is so stupid.
Live, local talk. The River Region's most trusted voice for news and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Guys, do you lack the stamina to sit through 3 hours of accusations without accidentally telling the truth? Try Fauci's Congressional Performance Enhancer. One tiny pill gives you the strength to say,
I plead the fifth.
111 times. Whether Congress asks about COVID,
I plead the fifth.
your boss asks where the expense account went,
I gotta plead the fifth.
or your wife starts questioning you.
Why is a Motel 6 receipt stuck to your ass?
I plead the fifth.
Side effects include selective amnesia, lawyer ejection, and a permanent hard-on for not answering a single damn thing.
You know, I saw a picture of Fauci taking out the garbage and a picture of his wife flipping the bird at a photographer.
Yeah, his wife's a real jewel, isn't she?
A delightful woman. And yet nothing has come from this. It's like it's gone away. The opportunity to really impress upon the American people, yes, the virus was real, but everything around the virus was totally fake, and it was not about your health. It seems like that's just another missed opportunity. Very discouraging.
Yeah.
So it doesn't look like Fauci's going to face any kind of ramifications or repercussions beyond what's already happened.
Yeah, I mean, look what happened in the Senate. So the Senate took its contempt of Congress vote and passed the resolution, and then what happened? Nothing.
Yeah.
Rand Paul did a bunch of interviews and talked about how tough he was and how tough he was going to be, sending it over to the Justice Department.
Mm-hmm.
And, it got tossed into the round file.
Yeah. And that's all that seems to happen. I think that's part of the disappointment in Donald Trump, that his people have been unable to follow through. And I mean, look at Swalwell with a Chinese spy. He's not going to be the governor, but he's still free to run around.
I mean, Jeanine Pirro wouldn't even bring a prosecution on a guy who vandalized the reflecting pool between the Lincoln Memorial and the Washington Monument, caught on video doing it. Yeah. Absolute open and shut case. And even Jeanine Pirro just throws up her hands and says, oh, there's no case here. Well, clearly there was a case there.
Yeah.
Clearly there was a case there. We got it on video. The person was obviously guilty. And even Jeanine Pirro has been gotten to somehow, some way by someone.
And you wonder why. It's so frustrating.
There's a great book. There's a great book called One Nation Under Blackmail that everyone should read.
Oh.
A woman wrote it. I'll Google it in the next break. I can't remember the name of the author. Great book. Everyone should read it. There's a sequel to it, and I can't remember what the follow-up's called. But, I mean, it explains a lot of what happens and doesn't happen in the nation's capital.
We played the clip from Ossoff that you had referenced earlier, and I hate to say it, but what he said could resonate with voters.
Sure, but not with the socialists, not with the communists taking over the Democratic Party. He's going to have to adopt all their issues to get anywhere in that nominating race. I mean, they are the energy in the party now, like it or not. And no one can be president unless they adopt the Communist Party's issues, which is the Democratic Socialists.
Mm.
No one can be that nominee without adopting their platform.
Well, let's move on to.
And so, but Ossoff is malleable. I mean, all these Democrats are, they don't have any courage. They have no convictions. They have no real political philosophy developed in their minds. They're just all willing to do or say they're like trained monkeys. They're going to do or say whatever it takes to get them elected and reelected. Kamala Harris is out there talking about eliminating the Senate, for crying out loud, and packing the Supreme. Kamala Harris, a former senator. The governor of Kentucky, Andy Beshear, a quote moderate Democrat, on Sunday endorsed eliminating the electoral college.
Oh, great!
Which exists. Why? To protect smaller states like Kentucky. Okay, they're willing to do or say literally anything to obtain power and hold on to power. So, John Ossoff, I'm sure, will be perfectly happy to say we're going to eliminate ICE and we're going to get rid of the Senate and all these crazy things that the communists want their candidates to say. They demand it. They don't just want it. They demand it. And so, yeah, he could be a contender, but he's not going to be any real alternative to AOC or any of the other ones.
Not to mention, the socialists are now selling themselves as sexy. I kid you not.
I'm still trying to think of which ones we're talking about.
Yeah, I haven't found any of them to be, Hassan Piker. I saw what he wrote. Well, we got to eliminate and boomers. I forget what the other thing was, but when I saw it, we got to get rid of the boomers.
Boomers and white people. Yeah, he wants to exterminate white people.
And
literally said it on his podcast.
That's what they need to run. That's what the Republicans need to show the public. Hey, you like socialism? They've got a boxcar with your name on it. Don't worry. And kids travel free. That's socialism. Mm-hmm. That was they've got. I'm hanging on to the thinnest of hopes that they've got this kind of idea in the bank, and they're just not ready to start it yet. But they really need to go full in on that. And yeah, scare people. They need to run something the equivalent that LBJ did with the Daisy ad in 1964 with the atomic bomb, with the little girl in the field and the flower, and all of a sudden there's a mushroom cloud. They ran that ad once, and it killed Barry Goldwater. So, who I think would have been a pretty good president, actually.
Would have been. Never got the chance.
No, and that one ad running one time on a Sunday night on ABC television finished him off. Let's move on to the mental health aspect of our tour.
I thought that's what we were just talking about.
Well, it's hard to tell the difference because it's really all about mental health, but let's talk Nancy Mace.
They're coming to take me away, ha-ha. They're coming to take me away, ho-ho, hee-hee, ha-ha, to the funny farm.
Yeah, what is going on with Nancy Mace? And she seems to be...
man, she seems to be kind of spiraling at this point. I've never thought she was real stable to begin with. Mm-hmm. Really, she's always been this kind of strange member of Congress, pretend conservative, fake conservative, and now she seems, to be going kind of off the deep end as her time in Congress slowly winds down. Thank God she's gone at the end of the year. But she got a bunch of tattoos and has decided now to, do bikini shots and appear in sleeveless shirts on her podcast to show off her new tattoos, which, is a very strange behavior for a member of Congress and pretty unseemly. We were talking last week about AOC getting on her video feed and, showing herself taking shots in the stomach with
freezing her eggs.
Freezing her eggs. But now we get this from Nancy Mace.
There she is on our video feed with her new tattoos.
I don't know. I just think it's sad. And
I agree with you.
She is a victim of sexual abuse, a victim of rape, and kind of worry about her emotional health.
Tell me about the boob showing contest she's got going with AOC. Let me see.
Yeah, she and AOC are both wearing low cut. Well, I mean, like I said, Nancy Mace is she did a whole bikini photo shoot and video over the weekend, and of course AOC has had recent pictures she's posted on her social media wearing low cut tank tops, and they're both pretty well endowed, so it's not ugly, but it is very strange behavior for any members of Congress for sure.
I'm here to tell you, as we divided the powers of our take on the idiocracy among us, that I am the boob expert in our group.
He's the memory master, if you will.
Thank you, Tom. Tom Moore. AOC she's had some work done. There's no question. Look, all I remember is it wasn't that long ago she had the body of a 12-year-old boy. She was flat, unsexy, harsh features, and they've worked very hard to soften her and make her sexy and seem appealing. So, I'm guessing she's gone from a 32 AA to a 36C.
Well, but that'll be a big part of her appeal. She's not going to get elected, making stump speeches. Okay. I mean, she's barely able to put 3 sentences together coherently. So, that's not going to be her strong suit. And it's what Kamala Harris would have been doing if she was 20 years younger. I mean, back in the days when she was arm candy for what was not Arsenio Hall, but the other guy that had a talk show back in the day. She had quite a career before she got into politics. And anyway,
she's quite the gymnast. She proved that you can climb to the top on your back, which is for most very physically difficult to do.
You almost got the full price.
Oh, unbelievable!
Pretty amazing.
Who was it that booted her off or did not want to be on, turned down her endorsement? I think it was somebody that's running for office in the Midwest somewhere, refused the Kamala endorsement. So it's gotten to that.
Oh, wow. I'm not familiar with that.
I don't know if that was...
Doesn't surprise me, really. Probably one of the communists.
Yeah. Because she won't come out in full force for them. But I agree with you. There is a cry for help in the middle of this. She's watching her congressional career end. And this sounds like, I need attention. I need attention.
It does. Looks and sounds like that. Yeah.
We haven't talked about the president much today, but I was curious about the scale back in our partnership with South Korea. What is going on there? Why are there bad feelings?
That's a pretty wild thing, just out of the blue this morning, announcing he's forcing the Pentagon to cut back on the joint training exercises that we do every year with South Korea's military. And it's clearly a, it's not really training exercises for our military. It's a threatening act to North Korea, just reminding them that the United States is going to back South Korea if there's any aggression from the North. But then Trump, puts out this Truth Social tweet about it this morning, noting that he has this wonderful relationship with Kim Jong-un in North Korea and doesn't want to offend them. But the real thing is that South Korea pissed him off because they wouldn't provide any support in the Iran effort, the Iran effort. Mm-hmm. And it's the same thing he's done with England and France and Italy as well. But this is just really, kind of an unexpected spur of the moment thing that really seems, just kind of off key and unnecessary to me. But Trump is Trump, and he does what he's going to do.
I think Tom, double check with me here, but am I looking at a statement that says Democratic Governor Gretchen Whitmer, the Frau Blucher of Michigan, gets more done with Trump than Biden?
100%.
Yeah. Oh, sure. Yeah. She didn't have any relationship at all with Biden. She barely was able to get into the White House. She only visited the White House once while Biden was president. She's been to the White House 3 times in the last year now for events. And then, of course, this weekend she was recording podcasts with Gavin Newsom and acting like best buddies with him and bragging about all the crackdowns they did during the COVID crisis.
Really? Yeah. Complete tossing of the Constitution and everything else. And again, that not just the Fauci lies, but the things that were imposed on us that we went along with because we trusted the government foolishly.
Yeah.
And didn't fight back sooner. I will never, ever forgive myself.
See, but here's the problem, too. You know, we complain that they're not doing enough to follow up on the Fauci thing. But the problem with the Fauci thing is that Donald Trump could have ended Fauci's career any day in 2020.
Yeah.
And did nothing. Let the little son of a you-know-what keep going on television every day, lying to the public day after day after day, giving the worst advice possible, just making stuff up out of whole cloth about social distancing and all, closing down schools. He literally cost millions of our children a full year of their education, and in some instances 2 years in parts of California. And Trump did nothing to end that. So it's really difficult for the White House to make much hay over what happened with Fauci on Capitol Hill, when the sitting president, was at least half responsible for it all. And, it's just a problem. It's a real problem for Trump. And, remember, I wrote about that a lot while, I was really advocating for DeSantis to be the nominee instead of Trump in 2024. And of course, every time I did, I'd lose 100 subscribers to my Substack.
Wow.
So, but that aspect of Trump is just kind of destroys your ability to take advantage of that issue. And if DeSantis was president, maybe, or any other Republican, maybe you might take advantage of it. But because Trump is back in the White House, you just can't.
I'm watching a fat socialist woman in New York City who looks like Oliver Hardy from Laurel and Hardy advocate that shoplifting should not be a crime because of biological need.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. If they're stealing food, that's okay. Stealing meds, that's okay. I guess maybe if you're stealing the cheap wine out of Target, it's okay too, because that's, nominally nutritious.
Let's go back to the president. Because, again, he's promising to bomb the out of a country, this time Oman.
Oman, yeah, which is trying to negotiate a side deal with Iran. Yeah.
Oh.
They're trying to negotiate a deal with Iran in which Iran would be able to load and offload ships at Oman's port that's directly on the Arabian Sea, outside of Strait of Hormuz and past where the naval blockade currently operates. So, Trump is trying to maintain control. I mean, we've got all the signals today are really positive for what the White House's strategy here. You keep the blockade in place, you starve the economy, and oil prices don't even react anymore, right? I mean, we have the ceasefire agreement is ending today. Today's last day of the ceasefire agreement. Anybody know that was still in effect? The 60-day ceasefire?
Got to admit.
So, yeah, today's the last day. Zero traffic through the Strait of Hormuz on Sunday. Not a drop of oil came through Hormuz, and oil prices did nothing.
I thought
what does that tell us? That tells us Hormuz is becoming irrelevant now to energy prices because the oil's getting out other ways. And so this strategy is working. And so he doesn't want Oman messing that up.
He's got to do it better. I mean, and if oil prices are, not going back up, but frankly, this is, again, a major issue. There's a commercial that runs on YouTube, and it's a fake store, but the coloring and everything else is designed to look like Walmart. And it's a picture of a Trump cartoonish thing like a anime or something, and every time it hits a price tag, it bounces all over the store. The price goes up, and then it takes you to a website that explains why things are more expensive under this administration. So I wish I could remember off the top of my head the group that's running it, but you can go to the website and it'll
What
explain
things
all
are
this.
more expensive under this administration? I really am having a hard time with that because I
Other
do
than
all
gas.
our grocery shopping in my family. I don't see any higher prices at the grocery store than 3 years ago. None.
When he took office, eggs were how much a dozen?
Like $6.
At least. And
Yeah.
now you can buy them a dozen for well under $2. And butter was $5 under Biden.
Yeah,
I
butter's
picked that up
cheaper.
at
All dairy
$2.99.
products are cheaper. I guess beef is more expensive.
Yeah.
But other than beef, what else is there that costs more now than it did 3 years ago at the grocery store? I think people have amnesia.
I don't mean to be unserious, but I did notice that Miracle Whip was a little high.
Miracle Whip, yeah, okay.
You don't need
Well,
that anyways.
It'd be good to leave that on the shelf anyway.
Amen. Amen.
We all need to leave that alone.
Yeah, I get it. But what's your take on gas prices over the next few weeks at least? I mean, I'd like to see them come down ahead of the
They're
midterms.
not going anywhere.
because-
They're not coming down. There's no downward pressure on them. But there's no upward pressure on them either. And so we're just kind of stuck at this level. And there doesn't seem much that has the ability to move the oil market. I mean, even when they start bombing each other now, the oil price doesn't really move much. It's like all the volatility has suddenly been taken out of the market. I don't really understand why. Other than, there is a lot of oil getting out of the Middle East. And the other aspect of it is there's been so much increased production in the Western Hemisphere it's in the last 6 months from the United States, from Venezuela, Brazil, Guyana, Mexico, Canada, that's made up a lot of the difference as well. And so Hormuz is becoming less and less relevant already, even before all the new pipelines get built to take all that oil to the Mediterranean, which is going to happen in the next 2 years. So Iran is, without Hormuz, they don't have any leverage, any geopolitical leverage at all. And that becomes the end of that regime. Effectively, at least in terms of its ability to dictate anything to the Middle East. I mean, even the Houthis, if you notice, we haven't heard anything about the Houthis shooting at a ship in a week now because they've stood down and oil is flowing once again out of the Red Sea at the southern end of the Red Sea. So that's another 10 million barrels a day that used to go through Hormuz that's now going out of the Red Sea. So it's just becoming less and less relevant. And that's the blockade. I think you've got to give credit to the United States Navy for being able to maintain that blockade so effectively, because it's really, really been crucial to this war effort.
I saw an interesting headline on Fox today. They said that Iran was threatening to attack if we didn't sign a peace deal in the next couple of weeks. That was an interesting...
What are they going to attack us with?
Yeah.
Well, they fired hundreds and hundreds of missiles at our aircraft carriers, and not a single one has gotten through and hit anything. So, yeah, I guess maybe that's what their threat is. I don't know.
I think as this economic blockade continues to tighten on them, their behavior becomes more erratic. So you're going to see that in the next couple of weeks, I think.
Yeah,
I mean
that's not surprising. That's the cornered.
That's the ultimate flip, though. They're threatening to attack us because we won't sign a peace agreement.
Right.
It's almost hilarious. Wow. Well, we're going to take our second break now here at 4:35. So much to process. And for those of you who would like this kind of analysis, and one of the more entertaining writers you will read, davidblackman.substack.com to subscribe. And also for oil and gas insights like you just heard, blackman.substack.com. And David, we'll be back with you in a few minutes, my friend. Thank you. All righty, for our third and final segment, which always ends with a little baseball. That is, if I'm not suicidal over the Yankees or whatever's going on today. And we still, speaking of sports, have to talk about the WNBA because they're lunatics. They really are. All right, and if you're looking for something good to put in your belly this afternoon, well, on Mondays, sadly, Smoky Notes is closed. But Smoky Notes is open Tuesday through Sunday with some amazing barbecue in a place that honors doing barbecue right, the science of cooking a brisket, which takes many hours, done at just the right temperature to make it fall at the touch of your fork. Great sandwiches like the brisket melt, smash burger, Monte Cristo, pulled pork and chicken. I mean, those are kind of standard fare, but you got to taste the way they do it and the array of sauces they offer with the biscuit and the chicken and other things like the boudin balls. That's a honey mustard great couple if I've ever tried one. But you have multiple options there, all of them homemade. That includes everything from barbecue, double extra hot, mild buffalo, house buffalo. White sauce is excellent. Lemon pepper, jerk, honey mustard, all homemade at Smoky Notes. Great kids menu with tenders and grilled cheese, pulled pork, and rib sandwiches for the kids, and lots of great sides like potato twists, which you can get fully loaded, coleslaw, green beans, and my favorite's the cabbage with the kick, little Conecuh sausage, and the baked beans have universal approval, but the mac and cheese above all others. So thick, so cheesy that you literally have to cut with a fork to get it off the plate. It is that good. So get your fingers dirty, have a great time, and enjoy some Smoky Notes. Every cut starts with smoke. They're on the Lagoon Park Shopping Center on the west side of Northern Boulevard, right next to the gas station there. What is that gas station's name again?
I don't frequent the Northern Boulevards too much. So
Yeah. Well, it's where It'll Do Tavern used to be. It's a great restaurant. They've redone the inside. Nice. Bring the family to Smoky Notes. All right, off to Skipper's Traffic Dungeon. 1819 News to follow.
Well, here's what we have going on right now. Accidents, Atlanta Highway at Madison Avenue. Fire department working that one. A little earlier, Zelda Road at Carter Hill had a person hit by a vehicle there. I-85 southbound right before the 65 interchange had 8 vehicles in an accident earlier. They're trying to work that one. That's causing a slowdown all the way to Jackson Hospital up to the interchange. Please be safe out there this afternoon. Traffic very busy. We will keep you updated. Imagine graduating high school with your college degree already in your hand. That's the power of early college at Trentham State Community College. No debt, no delay, just a college degree. Go to trenthamstate.edu for more information. Buckle up, Wendell J. Montgomery Skywatch Traffic.
News is brought to you by Adams Motorsports of Montgomery, where your pleasure is their business.
1819 News.
A Shelby County man continues his fight against Alabama Power. When it comes to eminent domain, Fenn Church is pulling on all of his past political connections as he seeks to not have Alabama power lines placed so close to his home. Church was on FM Talk 99.5 to give an update with April Marie Fogel.
Have you talked to your state representatives or any of the lawmakers about this?
I sure have.
Okay.
And my Senator Lance Bell has been the one that most vocal in helping me
most
with
responsive.
this. Talked to Senator Britt this morning.
That's a big important phone call to have there.
She and I go way back. We have a family history together.
Country music star John Rich has also got in on the fight here in the state of Alabama. Recently became President Trump's special envoy for American landowners.
But he is the real deal. He is so sincere. He is a true blooded American that wants to stand up for farmers, ranchers, or any kind of landowners against frivolous eminent domain from data centers or transmission lines.
I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Are you enjoying 1819 News? If so, consider joining 1819 News as a member. As a nonprofit news organization, we depend on the support of Alabamians like you. Memberships start out as little as $5 a month, and you'll get access to exclusive content only offered to our members. You'll be supporting independent journalism done by people who cherish Alabama values. Become a member today by visiting 1819news.com and clicking Become a Member. That's 1819news.com and click Become a Member today.
A series of drug raids in Geneva County resulted in the arrest of 5 people. Authorities also seized 1.2 pounds of marijuana, along with hemp, kratom, meth, and oxycodone. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
AdamsMotorsports.com on the web, or Adams Motorsports on the Boulevard in Montgomery. That's at Adams Motorsports in Montgomery, where your pleasure is our business. Come by and learn more about the new Suzuki GSX 8R motorcycle and see for yourself the bar has officially been reset.
When it comes to your mortgage, who you work with matters. And this is one decision where local makes all the difference. Don't fall victim to flashy mailers, spam calls, or 1-800-lenders who don't even know your name, much less your neighborhood. Those lenders are often sitting in some faraway state, reading from a script and chasing volume, not relationships. A local lender understands the market you live in, or should I say that we live in. At Alabama Home Mortgage, you can look at us in the eye and trust us with one of the biggest financial decisions you'll ever make. Local lenders don't disappear after closing day. Our reputation is built right here, one family at a time. So before you pick up the phone and call a stranger, remember us, Kim Williams and Madeline Cannon at Alabama Home Mortgage. You deserve guidance from someone who knows the community because they're a part of it. Give us a call at Alabama Home Mortgage today at 334-567-4223 or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. That's Alabama Home Mortgage, because there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586368, Equal Housing Lender.
In August, buy any large pizza at Pizza Perfect and get any medium pizza for just $2. Pizza Perfect's buffet includes pizza as well as spaghetti, breadsticks, salad, dessert, and drink for only $13. $12 for seniors, first responders, and military. The buffet is available Monday through Saturday for lunch and for dinner on Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday. Pizza Perfect is also available for pickup and delivery. Any medium pizza is just $2 with the purchase of a large at Pizza Perfect on Coliseum Boulevard in Eastbrook.
Tired of spending your weekends fighting weeds, patchy grass, and a mower that never starts? Mosley Lawn Pros is the solution. They handle residential and commercial lawn maintenance, landscaping, cleanups, and property care so you don't have to. They show up on time, do the job right, and leave your lawn looking sharp every time. Stop stressing over your yard and start loving it. When it comes to your lawn, call the crew your neighbors and local businesses trust. One call, one crew, problem solved. Mosley Lawn Pros, built on hard work, driven by quality. Find them today on Facebook or Google.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Riverside Chevrolet Wetumpka. If it's Chevy, it's Riverside. Best price, best selection. Check them out on the web at riversideusa.net.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. The use of the extreme heat warning is a first since this product debuted last year. It's a step higher than a heat advisory. It happens when expected heat indices go above 110. Tonight, the chances of one of those evening storms is almost zero, but not quite. Overnight low temperature down to about 78. Tomorrow, more extreme, dangerous heat. The actual high temperature near 100, but the heat index may be up to about 110. And still teasing the 100-degree mark on Wednesday as well. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
When the heat hits to the river region, don't wait. If your AC quits, Hands Heating and Air offers same-day service, or your diagnostic charge is free with their Comfort a Day or You Don't Pay guarantee, plus 24/7 service with no overtime charges.
The River Region's News Talk Station. News Talk 93.1, WACV. News Talk 93.1.
Staples has everything students need to make it through the year, like notebooks, backpacks, crayons, pens and pencils, and calculators. Plus, this year, we've also got everything teachers need to make it through the year, like cigarettes, red wine, Xanax, white wine, and if you want to get out of work entirely, Taylor Farms lettuce. Staples, June is only 10 months away.
Welcome to the world of Idiocracy with Greg, Pamela, and experts, especially David Blackman, talking about all the latest mess. Get it off your chest and tune to the best. The Tales of Idiocracy. The Tales of Idiocracy. tales of Idiocracy.
And along with Scott Moore, David Blackman joining us from Texas. I was just reading a little contretemps with Scott Jennings and Piker and El Sayed about lynching black voters and what was said and wasn't said. There's a, they keep talking about the war within the Republican Party, which I think is fake. I'm not hearing it. I mean, there's things we'd like. We'd like to see the Iranian situation resolved. We'd like to see gas prices come down. Doesn't look like that's happening. We need some stuff that we can sell in November so that our candidates have a chance and we don't lose the House and the Senate. I mean, we're going to need them both. But what's your take on Scott Jennings these days? He's always interesting, but is CNN?
Well, I think he really hurt his credibility with his 20-minute conversation with Mitch McConnell claim.
Where is Mitch these
participating in that farce? But he's still got his CNN gig going and his talk show, and he's a smart guy. He's right about Hassan Piker. Hassan Piker said all sorts of crazy stuff. I mean, he hates America. He wants to kill all white people. He wants to kill a bunch of Republican senators. He's literally called for the death of some of the senators, like Ron Johnson from Wisconsin. And
isn't that a crime?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's supposed to be, but only if the Justice Department decides to enforce the law.
That's been the biggest failure of Trump's second term. A Justice Department that just has no follow through, doesn't address stuff like that the instant it's said.
Yeah.
And
I mean, if you move slow on it, it just loses its impact, and they just won't do it. And it doesn't matter who he puts in there. It just isn't going to happen. It's institutionally corrupt, and you would need a 2-term presidency to really get at the roots of it. He's, replaced a lot of the U.S. attorneys, but he should have replaced every one of them, like any Democrat does when they go in. And it's been kind of half-assed approach to it overall at DOJ. It's a little better than it was in his first term, because he made 2 awful appointments to Attorney General during his first term. I mean, I think at least Todd Blanche is functional and wants to do a good job, but there's so much institutional pushback, it's really hard to get much done. Same thing at the FBI. I think Kash Patel means well, but there's just so much institutional embedded corruption from the 100 years of the agency before Patel came along. I mean, it's been a corrupt agency since it was created in many ways, and was always completely corrupt under Hoover. And it hadn't gotten a lot better over the years since Hoover died, which was 54 years ago now. So it's a hard thing to do. And, the president is all over the place every day, doesn't focus on anything for any real length of time. And so there's just not been the focus that was needed over there to really root out the corruption.
Well, when we get bogged down in the heavy news, we can always turn to the world of sports for some relief from society's ills. So let's start with the WNBA.
Oh, my God.
Tell us some of the weirdness that has been going on with them lately.
So today, the WNBA has its social media accounts, and it has what is called a subreddit on Reddit, which I don't know Reddit. I've never used it. It's just this far left-wing hangout for left-wing people and all that. But they have a subreddit account that literally now will not allow posters to mention Sophie Cunningham's name on the official WNBA subreddit account, because mentioning Sophie's name is, it triggers all the left-wing snowflakes over there. And The WNBA issued a statement a couple of hours ago in which they denied the claim, but yet it's real. It actually happened. The moderators of the site have admitted it happened, and is still happening. Okay, so this is an active player in the WNBA, one of its stars.
Yeah.
Really, probably other than Caitlin Clark, its biggest star right now, just in terms of media attention. And you can't mention her name on the league's official Reddit account.
That's what I call free speech.
Yeah, it's just amazing, just incredible.
All these dedicated leftists. And what is that based on? What prior success of leftist ideology are they saying?
Well,
See how well
it's a lesbian league. It's a league run by lesbians.
Angry ones.
Even the Fever's coach is an angry lesbian. Okay, which is why she won't defend Caitlin Clark or Sophie Cunningham. Who she just won't. I mean, when they've been involved in controversy, she, in her press conference statements, always defends the other guy, who tried to break Caitlin Clark's neck and punched Sophie Cunningham in the face and gave her a bloody mouth. She's defending the other players, not her own players.
It's that white privilege thing.
Yeah, well, it's more than that, but it's just a league. It's a lesbian league. It's well known. It's no secret. And the lesbians are in control of everything in that league. And so they resent, even though Caitlin Clark has gotten everybody enormous raises since she came along, huge raises, 10 times, 1,000% more money than they were making 3 years ago. And they resent her. They hate her. And the league, I'm not talking about the players now. When you watch the players, this is what's so interesting about it, is the players themselves are not the problem here. It's the people who own the teams. Like yesterday at the game, the Fever played a game against the Atlanta team in Atlanta. And two women, a mother and her daughter, young daughter, show up. They're wearing XX/XY t-shirts expressing their support for real girls in girls sports. And the arena officials for the Atlanta team come down and force them to put other t-shirts on over their own t-shirts to avoid triggering all the lunatics fans that are in the stands, right? So this is giving the league another black eye, of course, which they deserve fully, completely deserve. But this is official league policy now. You can't express support for girls in girls sports in the Women's National Basketball Association, which, by the way, is now their steering committee has met 7 times, their task force to define what a woman is.
Oh,
and they still can't define what a woman is.
I saw, I think it was
thing I've ever seen.
A brilliantly done thing featuring a WNBA coach at a press conference, and we're talking about how we're still trying to figure out what a woman is, and a little boy gets up and says, well, men have a penis and women have a vagina. And the
This isn't hard.
Yeah. What else do you need to know? How can we help you with that? You need pictures. I mean, it's so insane. And you're right. Half of these women, when you see them trying to explain themselves, look deranged. That's the only word I can come up for it. Although tremendous publicity. And here's the thing, whether they like it or not, outside the WNBA, Sophie Cunningham has become a star.
Oh, huge, enormous.
Even a hero, to the point where I'm wondering who's going to offer her a chance to run for political office next, because she's, stands by. She has not been intimidated and has not backed down, is not coward. And I hope they both leave the league and go let them have their white privilege, whatever they're bubba-micing about, some of the racist behavior from, really like street thugism going on because of jealousy or resentment or whatever. It's really sick.
It is. It's a sick league. It's a sick league led by sick people. But the players, they're just playing the game still for the most part. I mean, you have these crazy incidents that keep happening to Caitlin Clark or Sophie Cunningham.
Yeah.
They're obviously targets. But by and large, the players themselves on the Fever team, when you watch them interact with each other, there's no resentment inside that team's players. They don't resent Caitlin Clark. They don't resent Sophie Cunningham. They don't try to deny them the ball on the court. They're thrilled to death to be playing such a high level of women's basketball and are not the problem. They are not the problem. The problem is with the people running the league.
I believe we have a phone call. Good afternoon. You're on with David Blackman.
It's Soldier Boy.
What you got?
Hey, I watched the game I don't know if you all watched the game last night, the Atlanta Dream against the Indiana Flame.
Oh, yeah.
No, I missed it.
And they went into overtime. It was great. But the greatest thing I love watching about Caitlin Clark, she's just a terrific player. She's like a Larry Bird or Michael Jordan, right?
She sees everything that happens on the court. She sees everything.
That's exactly, Dave. She is, to me, one of the best assist artists I've seen play basketball.
Yeah, it's like watching Magic Johnson in his early days.
Magic Johnson, exactly, when he used to play the king of making everybody else better and everything. But I was just simply amazed by her ability to watch and see the whole court. She's a thinker. She's smart. She's athletic, and she's a team player. There's a couple times she had an open shot for three, and she went for the easy person that was cutting towards the basket. She's a team player.
Yeah, I mean, she's made a star out of Kelsey Mitchell, her teammate, the other starting guard on the team, is averaging like 27 points a game the last 15 games. She gets 7 or 8 assists a game from Caitlin Clark.
Leader to make your definition of a leader is to make your teammates and other people better.
Yeah, it's a joy to watch, really. I've never watched any WNBA basketball until this year. I've watched a couple of games.
Oh yeah,
now,
me neither. I didn't want to watch a bunch of angry black lesbians play and beat each other. I just didn't want to watch that. But what's so funny? I love watching her because I love the sport of basketball. It doesn't matter if it's male or female. She's just a smart player on the court, and it just simply amazes me. And I love it. I mean, tonight they play again tonight. I'm going to watch that game too. But what's so funny is she made everybody in the Women's Basketball Association got a higher pay. She's the golden goose.
Yeah, but
if it wasn't for her, they'd be still playing to half-empty crowds.
The jealousy comes from the attention. Mm-hmm. That's what the
why would you? But Greg, why would you be jealous of the attention if you're doubling your contract because of her?
Maybe because she won't sleep with them. I really don't know. But thank you for the call. All right, and then we wind to the end here. I wish I could say this show has made me feel better about the future. The Bears, we made the mayor of Chicago one of our Morning Maroons this year for masterminding losing the Chicago Bears.
Pretty incredible.
To Hammond, Indiana, which is adjacent to the city, in the same time zone. And this has been announced. I don't know much about details of the new stadium or what Hammond is doing that Chicago for some reason can't. But I think they'll still call themselves the Chicago Bears, just like the New York Giants and the Jets. They play in New Jersey.
Yep.
It's New York didn't give them the facility they want because they had other priorities,
Well, Hammond is building them a dome stadium, a brand new dome stadium with all the bells and whistles, where Soldier Field. Chicago is wedded to Soldier Field, and it really wasn't feasible, I guess, for whatever reason, to dome that stadium. I never have understood the engineering aspects of that. When they built the Texas Rangers new stadium here in Arlington, when the previous stadium was not but 20 years old, when they started building that thing, and I'm like, well, why can't you just put a dome over that stadium instead? Well, you can't. there's engineering reasons why they couldn't do it. I don't understand them because I'm not an engineer, but apparently same thing with Soldier Field. They can't, for whatever reason, slap a dome over that stadium. And so
And
Chicago wasn't willing to build from scratch, apparently.
Soldier Field's small by kind of industry standards now, but they had a plot of land in Arlington Heights that was
the racetrack used
to be the area, and they for a decade it just didn't fizzled out for some reason. So
yet Little Hammond, Indiana manages to come up with a dome. That's mind-boggling to me.
Yeah.
Well, they probably are doing what Arlington did, to get Jerry Jones to build his stadium in Arlington. The city of Arlington, 350,000 people, passed a special sales tax, 1 cent sales tax on its citizens to pay its part of that stadium, and funded half of the cost of Jerry World, and Jerry gets to keep the whole thing, right? And to the city's credit, the city government did follow through and then rescind that sales tax when it had paid out. Which, is good governance. And so the
Just
people
like
voted for it and everything. So it was democracy in action, really.
Just like the city did when they passed that 3 cent gas tax. Yep. Oh, wait a minute. No, they never did.
Yeah. Right.
Such liars. Want to talk about, the big baseball story was 3 home runs first game, Joshua Baez, Cardinals. But watching the Yankees struggle to score has been ruinous to my summer.
I feel your pain as a Dodger fan.
Yeah, they're struggling too. But
getting beat 4-1 every night. It's amazing.
Yeah, but you just have the feeling that they're both going to be there at the end. Yankees got some players that are coming back that will help big time. One of those people that makes everybody better, Aaron Judge. And Bellinger, and maybe even Stanton, who seems to get really good at playoff time. But the Dodgers, too, with Skubal hasn't done anything. That was the big trade deadline deal.
Well, but they're 1-3 in his starts now, and they're, what are they, 3-14 since they did the deal, 3-12?
Yeah, something like that.
When everybody was panicked and said, "Oh, the Dodgers are ruining baseball because they're buying everybody," well, they're 3-12. Okay, they haven't ruined baseball.
No, not yet. What will ruin baseball is a strike or a work stoppage, and we don't have time to get into that.
That will destroy the game, yes.
It will. I wish they would wake the heck up and address that. Get it done. David, thank you for your time as always. It goes by way too fast. We so enjoy it. We will see you Thursday, sir.
Absolutely. I'll be around.
All right. DavidBlackman.substack.com to subscribe and enjoy his blog on a daily basis. Blackman.substack.com for oil and gas industry expert you'll find nowhere else. There is a lot happening on your commute home today.
Well, my goodness, we just continue to have accidents. One now on 85 northbound, right out of the interchange near mile marker 2. That's going to be near Hall Street, Oak Park, Jackson Hospital. We're seeing a slowdown of traffic there. We got slow traffic from just past Ann Street up to the 65 merge because of 2 accidents back to back. About 8 cars total. That is right before the 65 interchange. And we have a couple of other things shaking. Fire department was working an accident on Atlanta Highway at Madison Avenue. Also, Zelda Road at Carter Hill, pedestrian hit by a vehicle earlier. We're hoping they've cleared that. Please be safe. We'll keep you updated. At McKenna Nissan, you can save up to $6,000 off Pathfinders and up to $5,000 on roads. At the lowest tax rates in Alabama, and it's worth the drive. McKenna Nissan, exit 212 off I-65 in Clanton. Buckle up, Wendell J. Montgomery Skywatch Traffic.
For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bob Agnew. Of the thousands of lawsuits Meta faces over child safety on its platforms, none may be more consequential than one going to trial this week in California.
States are seeking extensive financial damages that could, in theory, total as much as $1.4 trillion, plus changes in how the company operates Facebook and Instagram. The lawsuit accuses the social media giant of contributing to a youth mental health crisis by knowingly and deliberately designing addictive features. The trial in federal court in Oakland features 4 states as plaintiffs: California, Colorado, Kentucky, and New Jersey. Rich Thomason reporting.
Berkshire Hathaway is increasing its stake in Google's parent company, Alphabet. It's also boosting its holdings in home builders. The company also continued to pare its stake in financial companies and a number of other stocks in the April through June quarter. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bob Agnew.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
A new year brings new opportunities, and right now the market is starting to shift.
Interest rates are beginning to come down, which means more buying power and more options for buyers who've been waiting.
If you're thinking about buying a home, this could be the moment to take that next step.
And whether you're buying, selling, or investing, having experience on your side matters more than ever.
At Hannah and Eddie Realty Group, we're also growing our team.
If you're an experienced agent ready to make a difference in this market and want to be part of a team that values knowledge, support, and results, call Hannah and Eddie Realty Group, where opportunity meets experience.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. With PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
Today is August 17th, Thrift Shop Day. I bought these gloves at the thrift shop. They're secondhand. I'm gonna pop some tags on.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. A marathon meeting between U.S. negotiator Jared Kushner and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu left the fate of the Gaza ceasefire unclear. Officials signaled moderate optimism after Monday's talks, but offered no concrete commitment by Israel to the latest U.S. proposed peace plan. American negotiators appeared to acquiesce to Israeli demands that Hamas disarmament must come before any reconstruction of the devastated Palestinian enclave. Luigi Mangioni's state murder trial and the killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson has been postponed indefinitely. His lawyers are seeking to have the case dismissed on double jeopardy grounds after Mangione pleaded guilty to federal charges last week. On Wall Street, the Dow down by 272 points. More details at srnnews.com.
Are you carrying more than $10,000 in credit card debt? Do you feel like you're running on a financial treadmill, making payment after payment, month after month, yet never getting ahead? If you're tired of watching your hard-earned money disappear into interest charges, there may be options available to help you take back control of your finances. At Total Financial Freedom, they'll show you what qualified consumers may be able to save through programs designed to help them resolve debt faster than making minimum payments alone. The consultation is free, confidential, and comes with absolutely no obligation. Why spend years, sometimes decades, paying thousands in interest when there may be a better path forward? Total Financial Freedom is a Christian-owned company that has helped thousands of Americans pursue financial freedom for nearly 20 years and is proudly A+ rated and accredited by the Better Business Bureau. Call now and ask how you can receive a complimentary copy of The Debt Dietitian. Stop running in place. Start moving toward financial freedom at 866-844-7344. 866-844-7344.
And welcome to the final hour of Happy Hour News Talk 93.1 FM WACV. Greg Udell. We thank David Blackman, as always, for joining us on Monday. He returns on Thursday, and Tom Moore's sidekicking with us on Monday. And I'm trying very hard to manipulate him into coming by to visit more frequently.
Twisting me like a pretzel.
You know, you can stop by in the morning, too. We'll even let you go in time to open your store on time.
Mornings are tough. The Baldwin start school at 7.
Oh.
And so we are up early with the chickens at the house, getting the Rugrat ready. And yeah, it's funny how an hour can make a difference in your life. But
you know,
we're getting through it.
Those are the thoughts I'm having because I'm looking at some type of schedule modification. This recent surgery has had me rethinking everything. And, you know, I want to be able to continue to do this, which you cannot do if you're dead. It's very hard to do talk radio when you're dead. Although I do have suspicions that Art Bell continued for some time after he passed away. I don't know the secret there. But we're going to talk to Brant shortly, and then you've got some stuff relative to the city that you want to bring up.
Some local stuff popping up today.
Tease?
Yeah, Jackson Hospital News Conference.
Yeah.
Some folks that the mayor worked with on some crime initiatives may not be up to snuff.
Oh. Our mayor let us down again?
Intertwining with those that are less than stellar reputations?
Wow. Well, I can't wait for that. Not that I'm going to be terribly surprised. You know, it gets me, and I'm just going to hit this real quickly. I watch a lot of YouTube documentaries, and one of the commercials that's running is Trash the Ash. And it's got Councilman Szymanski on it and somebody else. And the big focus is cigarette butts are the greatest refill, whatever it is, landfill thing. And trash the ash, like they're talking to frickin' simpletons to put the cigarette butt in the trash the ash stations they have, which I did not see when I was downtown yesterday. And how about if we have a campaign that encourages people to not throw a full bag of garbage out of your car window when you're on Vaughan Road or Carmichael or anywhere? What is that all about? Now, we're worried about a cigarette butt. There's not that many. I don't walk downtown or by the ballpark or anywhere else. I don't see cigarettes laying around everywhere. It's a bunch of crap.
Yeah. I couldn't agree more.
Find somebody else to harass, okay? God.
Yeah, I've been driving around and I've seen people just throw a whole bag of McDonald's trash out the window like it's like nothing. And
it happens a lot in this area, probably because of those delightful accommodations we have down at the end of the street. See, way too often. And early in the morning, and you come up and sometimes it's a big 13-gallon bag of trash. It's just in the middle.
And that all goes back to just the local police are undermanned, so they can't enforce people, throwing trash. And then I would, if I was on any position of leadership, I would have the local folks jailed up out cleaning the streets up. Get them out there picking up trash.
By the way, I do want to mention our profound thanks to Montgomery Paint and Body for bringing us the Idiocracy on Monday and Thursday. I do want to also address there's no truth to the rumor that Donnie Turner plays voice tapes of AOC to peel the paint off cars that are being fixed. I mean, I would try it. It might work. She can't peel my skin up, but she can make it crawl.
My favorite, there's a person in our parking lot that works at the building next to it, and the state-issued license plate, I kid you not, state of Alabama, the license plate says AOC is a hoe.
Oh, well,
I kid you not.
Just through quirk, it's A0C, which is the actual plate, but a lot of people mistook that as Alabama honoring a great leader. A great leader of what? A great leader who's accomplished what? Nothing. But they accomplish great things with damaged cars at MPB 27 Rec with a W, and they will bring you another edition of the Idiocracy Thursday with David Blackman. Brant McDonald coming up in 2.
At Montgomery Men's Health, we saw a bunch of patients last month. Almost none came because of an ad. They came because something happened. A fight with a wife who finally said, get help. A breakup. A new relationship that made them aware of things they used to ignore. A photo a friend tagged them in. One guy said he just stared at himself in the mirror. And that was enough. If today's your day, call right now. 334-440-3663. I'm Dr. Smith, urologist and advisor to Montgomery Men's Health. Built on almost 15 years of treating men in Alabama, one patient at a time. dedicated to ED, low T, and male performance. Here's what happens when you call. We book you this week. We'll get a lab in an hour. For ED, we walk you through your real options at the same visit. A plan before you leave. Don't let today turn into next year. Call now, 334-440-3663. That's 334-440-3663. MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com.
Hi, I'm Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop Wellness Center at 8161 Vaughan Road. You know, with over 30 years experience in natural wellness, I've seen countless health fads come and go. A few years ago, we added a patented technology that actually activates your stem cells. It reverses the aging process at the cellular level. However, you do need proper hydration and targeted nutrition. At the Herb Shop, our advanced scanning and testing technology allows us to accurately assess your nutritional needs and get a customized plan for you. Come in today and see what the Herb Shop can do for you.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by Mr. Electric of Montgomery. Mr. Electric, we've got the power to make things better. Visit MrElectric.com.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. The use of the extreme heat warning is a first since this product debuted last year. It's a step higher than a heat advisory. It happens when expected heat indices go above 110. Tonight, the chances of one of those evening storms is almost zero, but not quite. Overnight low temperature down to about 78. Tomorrow, more extreme, dangerous heat. The actual high temperature near 100, but the heat index may be up to about 110. And still teasing the 100-degree mark on Wednesday as well. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Back to school shopping starts now, and ASC Credit Union has you covered. Our back to school loan helps you pay for supplies, laptops, clothes, and more. Stop by your local ASC branch or apply today at yourasccu.com. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers.
And continuing to deploy the great resources available to us, we now join the man we call Mr. Right on the Money. From Waverly Advisors, Brant McDonald, how are you, sir?
Greg, hey, buddy, I'm doing well. Doing well. It's a Monday. Interesting day today. How are you, and how was your weekend?
Yeah. But the heat feels unnatural today. I was just outside. I got myself an ice cold Diet Coke to enjoy while you're educating us, telling us how our money's doing, and what are the things that you observed today and see looking forward into the week.
Yeah, so it's interesting. You know, if you look back over the last week and a half or so, we've had a lot of data as it relates to the real economy. Obviously, we got the big jobs report. We had CPI. We had the PPI last week. And if you look at it in total, it was a very, very tame as far as the inflation outlook goes. And you would expect that based on the weakness in all of those reports, that we would have seen some positive action in the Treasury bond market. But we really haven't seen that, and that has really got a lot of people a little concerned. And what I'm talking about is the 10-year bond yield all the way out to the 30-year bond yield. You would expect to see those yields come down on the heels of the reports that we got, but we did not get that. As anything, we've seen a little bit more of a broadening out of those yields. And I think what's going on is everything is coming back to this yen-dollar situation that I've been talking about. I think that it's beginning to gain a little bit of momentum. I also think that there's some concern, a little nervousness about the Treasury and its ability to control the U.S. bond market in an environment like this with the kind of the backdrop that we have. And if even today, I was looking at my Bloomberg terminal, and I had someone in the office with me, and we were looking at what were the big performers today in terms of all the various sectors and asset classes. And once again, I mean, it was gold, it was silver, it was commodities and agriculture and metals and mining stocks, and they were all at the top of the leaderboard. And your basic everyday stock fund was just lagging and in the red most of the day. And I think when you start to see, weakness in jobs numbers, weakness in the inflation numbers, yet bond yields move higher, you scratch your head on that one. But then you see gold prices, silver prices also moving higher. it's a little bit of a concern. And typically when you see this type of setup, you're kind of expecting a little bit of a market correction. At least that's been my experience over the years. And I would suspect that we probably get a little bit of a pullback here. The question is how much and how big. Keep in mind that the vast majority of the economic activity we've seen and coming on the heels of the big earnings reports for the second quarter, most of that connects its way back to artificial intelligence and AI infrastructure spending. And as I've said many times on the show, there seems to be a little bit of an incestuous relationship between, a lot of these, let's use as an example, chip manufacturers and their customers, and how they are investing money with their customers, providing cash for them to enter into long-term contracts for the products that they want to sell to them. And it really is a little bit of a head scratcher from an accounting standpoint. And I know that a lot of people have raised issues around this. Even Michael Burry, for example, I don't know how many who are listening, or whether you, Greg, watched the movie The Big Short. That movie was about Michael Burry and how he bet against, the housing crisis or bet that the housing crisis would happen. And he won so big on that they made a movie out of him. Well, anyway, he's making a lot of noise here in the last 6 to 8 weeks or so about how he is shorting big time these AI names and semiconductors and all of that. And he cites a lot of this accounting stuff that I'm talking about. Who knows whether he'll be right or not. Since that movie, he's been wrong about several things. So, but it just goes to show, I use that as an example, it just goes to show that there are a lot of people out there that are a little concerned about how the accounting around all this has been done. And so anyway, here we sit today at market highs. We still don't have the situation resolved in Iran. I know that the Taiwanese have been running military drills. There's some concern whether China may invade. I doubt it happens. But still, that kind of saber rattling pops up, seems like every 3 months. And if you just step back and look at the last 6 years, and we've said this in studio, we've entered a period of deglobalization. For 25 years we had globalization, where we were all getting along and everyone was doing trade with each other. And in the last 6 years, that's no longer the case. Everyone's pulling away from each other, and it's causing a lot of misallocation of capital. And then the last thing I would add is that, the U.S. government, in its infinite wisdom, through trillions of dollars of money as a result of COVID, which pumped up the money supply, ramped up inflation, and people who owned things like real estate, stocks, and stuff like owned assets, they did very well in that environment, which did create a further gap and a widening between the haves and the have-nots. And so now here we are coming up on the midterm elections, and you see the rise of this socialism, the likes of which we haven't seen since FDR.
Yeah.
If you remember from your history with FDR, there were people in his ear in Washington that were really sort of intrigued and enthralled with what Russia and Stalin and what was happening.
Hitler too.
They
were comparing. The New York Times in the 30s did a comparison between FDR's socialism and Hitler's. And my question is, why are the Republicans not running that up the flagpole to remind people who was behind, what the economic model for the Nazi Party was? That's got to get out there.
Well, it's always been a messaging issue with the Republicans.
Yeah.
And I don't know why that is, but anyway, here we sit now with this uprising, because there's no question. We can argue about, well, let me rephrase. We cannot argue, no one can argue that the rich have gotten richer and there's a huge inequality gap. But what we can argue about is how and why that happened. It's not the failure of capitalism that did it. It's the failure of government that has done it.
Yeah.
And that is the $1 million discussion that needs to be had and debated on the political stage. And to your point, Greg, I hope that the Republican Party has really great talking points and is prepared to defend free market capitalism, and can do it in a way that's very articulate, that would help the masses understand just how bad socialism really is.
They won't know it until they're being escorted onto a boxcar, Brant, because it's a lot more than it's equal misery for all, and because that's the only possible outcome with it.
I totally agree. And this is why I've said, even when Trump got elected, this is going to be an issue.
Yeah.
The problems that have been created are so massive and so huge that even Trump, he can't solve these problems overnight. This is a major problem. I could go on, but anyway, Greg, that's where we sit today, and we'll see. Tomorrow will be interesting. We get export and import pricing, which is kind of a nice sort of tailwind confirmation to some of the CPI reports. Outside of that, we don't really get a whole lot of data worth speaking to for the rest of the week. We do get the FOMC minute meetings, which could offer up a little bit of insight, but outside of that, not too much. But we'll be here to report on whatever comes our way.
Brent, we sure appreciate your time. Thank you.
You got it. Y'all have a great night.
You too.
Just want to mention, too, that a number of listeners, longtime listeners who have finally gotten down, had their chance to sit down, meet Brant and the team at Waverly Advisors, and have had nothing but great things to say. It's an incredible group over there, and we thank them for the daily insights.
The opinions voiced in this material are for general information only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. All performance referenced is historical and is no guarantee of future results. All indices are unmanaged and may not be invested into directly. The opinions expressed in this material do not necessarily reflect the views of LPL Financial. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC. Investment advice is offered through Invista Advisors, registered investment advisor and separate entity from LPL Financial.
Coming up,
This town needs an enema.
and Tom Moore is going to be the guy to give it when
Here it comes again.
When we come back from this break. His insights on local happenings are priceless, and that's ahead here on News Talk 93.1 FM, 527.
Well, we have an accident on I-85 northbound. This is going to be just past Jackson Hospital. It is in the left center lane, and there are 3 vehicles there dead stop. Traffic is moving around on the right and left. Please use caution there. And on I-85 southbound, got slow traffic from just past Ann Street all the way up to the 65 merge. That due to 2 accidents right before the I-85-65 interchange. They are all off on the right, but traffic is moving slow. We are busy everywhere this afternoon. Please keep it here. We'll keep you updated. At McKenna Nissan, you can get up to $5,000 off a new Nissan Frontier. At the lowest tax rates in Alabama, and it's worth the drive. McKenna Nissan, exit 212 off I-65 in Clanton. Buckle up, Wendell J. Montgomery Skywatch traffic.
Did you know Epicure and Jack's Tavern is also a butcher shop? Epicure and Jack's Tavern wet age premium cuts in-house and hand cut every steak themselves. That means you're eating the same quality beef restaurants brag about, because they are the ones cutting it. From ribeyes to fillets, this is craftsmanship you can taste. Epicure and Jack's Tavern, where the butcher and the steakhouse live under one roof.
Beyond the forecast with meteorologist Ben Lang on the 2023 Selma tornado.
We were here in the studio. The tornado didn't hit us. We were just fine. We're still able to go to work the next day. But for other people, their lives have been upended. That's really tough. It is a big deal to be able to use my knowledge about what's going on with the weather to hopefully be able to keep folks safe.
Ben Lang, part of the Action 8 weather team, your weather authority.
Maybe you're doing well in sales, but you're ready for something bigger.
At Blue Water Broadcasting, you'll help local businesses grow with customized marketing campaigns that combine the reach of 7 radio stations with powerful digital solutions. We're looking for someone who enjoys meeting people, earning their trust, and delivering results. If you're driven, professional, and ready to build a career, not just another sales job, we should talk. Visit BlueWaterBroadcasting.com and send me your resume today. Blue Water Broadcasting, local folks helping local business.
Live local talk. The River Region's only 24-hour News Talk FM station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Bro, before the night is over, she and I will be flocking.
How? She's leaving, and you never even talked to her.
Platemate, duh.
From the creators of Flock, the license plate surveillance network trusted by law enforcement, comes Platemate. Saw someone cute at Starbucks but didn't get her number? You don't need it. You got her plate. Just enter it into Platemate, and Flock's network of cameras can help you find that special someone. And then keep finding them. No return text? Platemate knows she's a target.
How did you know I was here?
Fate?
Platemate. New from Flock.
It's not stalking, it's flocking.
They're smoking hot while fighting corporatism, and they're flirting with collectivism. Taxing the rich is part of their seduction. I let them seize my means of production. Come and join our party, 'cause you think we're sexy. Democratic socialists.
Yeah, you're sexy, all right.
Everyone but Bernie is so young and sexy, hotter than the capitalists.
AOC's a boob, and her boobs are fake. These are among the many things you could have learned by listening to this entire broadcast today. Happy Hour on News Talk 93.1 FM. Tom Moore is our sidekick. I think we're sexy. I think
dead sexy.
we got to start doing the show shirtless or something. Rich Thomas has been lobbying to do the weather shirtless, and I'm all for it. Because if socialists are sexy, oh my God, it just makes me want to puke. But that is a serious story. That's just a song that we riffed together based on. This is part of their campaign approach. You're going to be looking at AOC like we all want to sleep with her. No. I don't think so. Tom has been an activist in the city and keeps a close eye on things. I'd love to work it out so that you could do like a daily story on life in the city or things that you know that are going on. But tell us about this task force. Is that what it was?
Yeah, a couple of years ago, the city funded, and it was a 7-figure funding initiated by Mayor Reed called Save Our Streets. So
Save Our Streets.
SOS. You would see the T-shirts. And in the last 2 weeks, 2 individuals from that organization have been arrested on drug trafficking. So $30,000 bond. Yeah, so not the most pristine individuals in that task force. So they were tasked to reduce violence, crime in the city, and unfortunately they were doing drugs, selling drugs, moving drugs.
How come I'm not seeing this story on WSFA?
Well, you could call Mayor Stephen Reed and ask him how much a year he spends with WSFA for his advertising and news media.
So they're a client.
You could say that. You could say that they're on payroll.
For being a high school student.
Yeah, Daniel Hatcher was the latest. He was arrested on July 31st. Distribution, possession of controlled substances.
So are these people appointed by the mayor to be on this thing? Because we know he likes to give felons a second chance.
Right. Unknown, but organization started by him, funded by the city, and has taken pictures with these individuals. So he knew of them, knew their background. There you go.
Save our city.
Save our streets, yeah.
With more criminals.
Yeah.
What else is happening?
Yeah, big press conference today with Jackson Hospital. And if you recall, about 7 weeks ago, they had a verbal agreement with Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Yes.
So the issue was that Jackson wasn't happy with their reimbursement rates, which they contractually signed up to. So there's two ways you can get reimbursed through an insurance provider. You can say, hey, for these procedures, you get the same amount of money, or you can say, hey, for less complicated, this amount, for higher, you get this amount. And so Baptist chose one route and Jackson chose another. And they would always say, well, Jackson is getting, or Baptist is getting more than us. So anyways, verbal agreement was looking good. Then the lawyers got involved. So this last 7 weeks has been them hashing it out. But today they reached a written agreement. It looks somewhat promising. The problem is Blue Cross Blue Shield only accounts for about 30% of Jackson's income stream. So they did agree and admit that, hey, we still need the funding from the state. So the state's ponying up like 40 or 50 million, but only if they get out of bankruptcy. So that's contingent money. And they just said, hey, we're going to need continued funding from the Jackson Group, from city and state. So
true or false, the biggest drain, the biggest cost or expense unreimbursed are the homeless, the illegals, because everybody has to be treated.
True statement. So I was told by a physician at Jackson that 30% of their customers are indigent care, meaning they don't pay. So imagine you do business in town and a third of your customers don't pay. How long you would last?
Not long.
Yeah. So I think this is a temporary lifeline. I would be optimistically cautious. I would love to see Jackson succeed. I don't know.
I remember years ago, it was a thing at Baptist East. There would be families, not just one person not feeling well, but families just waiting it out in the ER at Baptist East to get seen and get whatever they needed free. The drain on resources is unbelievable.
Yeah.
I do know sources independent of the mayor's office that they're really trying hard to recruit more cops. That they're offering a $15,000 signing bonus, and each of the last two. Fortunately, the weather has been beastly hot, but they're at least trying to. They've had tryouts.
Yep.
And things like that.
So, Jennifer with Blue Water Broadcasting here, her husband is now in charge of the police academy for the city. And so Wiz is an amazing guy. I think he's trying all sorts of initiatives. I think ultimately it's going to take a new mayor, somebody that the police want to work for, that feels like they support them, their mission, that they're not cutting their funding to pay for convention centers. But in the meantime, yes, all these initiatives can only help. So we'll see what we got.
Yeah, well, you do have to ultimately decide whether or not you. And I know lots of guys who started in Montgomery and went elsewhere. And I had to remind Bobby Bright of that in a Facebook thread not long ago. Good afternoon. Who's this?
Hey, it's Kyle. How are you?
Kyle, what's happening?
Hey, you just mentioned about Jackson Hospital, and 30% of their clientele is indigent care. But it's been that way for a long, long time. So that makes me know that the people at the top are not doing whatever adjustments they need to do to take care of that. That ain't just happened. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And Baptist has done what they needed to do. Baptist is growing in leaps and bounds. They're redoing their whole, their whole emergency department. So they may look to the upper management of that thing to see exactly what's going on with it.
Yeah, Tom has mentioned too that bad management in the hospital has been a problem in the past.
And you hit the nail on the head. So it was bad management. They were paying too much, and then COVID happened, and so massive amounts of folks coming in without coverage, and it wasn't just like, oh, here's a Band-Aid or some sutures. It was, hey, you got to be put on an event for weeks, and that's not cheap. And so those beds were being taken for a long time. But yeah, mismanagement 100% is the root cause of this.
Yep, you're exactly right. Well, thanks for keeping your finger on the pulse, Tom, and good to hear from you again.
Thanks for keeping your ears on our radio. We love you. Thanks for calling in.
Thanks, Kyle. There's a great guy. It is 5:39. If you have a life crisis, sometimes, well, everybody has a story about a relationship that's gone south. And sometimes there are warning signs, and sometimes you get blindsided. And boom, I want out, and I want to move on in a different direction. And if that's not what you're expecting, if that's not what you want, that can be devastating at a number of levels. And thinking rationally and keeping yourself together during a time like that is a challenge. But what I learned the hard way, and I hope others don't, is asking for help when you need it. Admitting, hey, I can't handle this on my own. I need people who can manage this situation. Not just take it, but manage it for me. This is why I always am eager and proud to recommend Dana Delk and Jacqueline Tomlinson. These are two family women who run a law firm that is based on compassion, but also on the assertion that you have, and this is where some people really struggle, you have the right to do what's in your best interest. I don't know what to be mean. You just don't get lost in the process. Don't let the situation destroy you. Give it to them, analyze whatever the circumstances are, and show you the path to the next part of your life. But self-management in crisis is not a good formula. We had a gentleman call last week, and he sounded like he was stressed, but he wanted Jacqueline to handle his divorce. And I understand that, because you need a real legal leader. It's not just knowledge of the law. It's somebody who can clear the forest through the trees, help you see things clearly, and plot the future in a way that makes sense, and let them do their job. And that way you can focus on, because sometimes in a crisis, even the minutia, going to work, going to the store, the simplest things can become big challenges because you're overwhelmed. Let them help remove as much of the overwhelm as possible. It can be done. And for a consultation, or you know somebody who needs this type of great leadership, call 819-4810 or give that number to somebody who could use it. 334-819-4810. Browse all the services available, including adoptions, blended families, drawing up a will, at this web address, thealabamafamilylawyers.com. For Delk and Tomlinson, attorneys at law.
The representation is made that the quality of legal services performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Off to the traffic dungeon at 542. Blue Water News with Sky is next.
All right, most of our accidents have cleared at this point. We have light to moderate traffic all over the area. A little bit busy on East and East-South Boulevard. Prattville, Millbrook, Wetumpka reporting light to moderate traffic conditions. And it is hot out there this afternoon. Please be safe. We'll update you if any accidents happen to slow you down. At Thompson Tractor, their new service commitment includes next-day parts and 2-day repairs. This ensures you stay up and running without missing a beat. Thompson Tractor off I-85 just past Chantilly Parkway. Buckle up. Wendell J. Montgomery Skywatch Traffic.
News is brought to you by Bath Innovations. Call Bath Innovations today to schedule your free in-home consultation.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, here's today's top stories. A man is fighting for his life following a weekend shooting in Montgomery. The shooting happened just after 2 a.m. Saturday morning in the 1900 block of Maxwell Boulevard. The unidentified shooting victim was taken to a nearby hospital in critical condition. No further details regarding suspect or motive have been made available. Watauga County Schools have begun the process to acquire 10 acres of land and an existing building in Pine Level. The $4.2 million proposal acts as a contingency plan if the city of Prattville decides to break away and form its own school system. The purchase has not yet been finalized. Any formal contract would have to receive final approval from the school board. Drivers traveling through the 17 Springs area in Millbrook will see a new traffic signal this week. The signal heads are installed at the intersection of Highway 14 and 17 Springs Boulevard. The lights will be placed into flashing mode this week with full activation scheduled for August 25th. Motorists are advised to use extra caution when traveling through the busy intersection. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
Bath Innovations of Alabama can replace your old bathtub with a low-step shower featuring built-in seating, secure grab bars, and slip-resistant flooring, often installed in as little as 1 day. Call Bath Innovations of Alabama today to schedule your free in-home consultation.
From weddings and concerts to cookouts and construction sites, TT Porta Toilets has been serving Central Alabama for over 30 years. Whether you need standard portable toilets with wash stations or upscale restroom trailers for special events, the Tierce family has the right solution for every occasion. So when you're planning your next big event or project, make it easy on yourself. Call 285-5513 or visit ttportatoilet.com. TT Porta Toilets. Clean, convenient, dependable.
Trust is the number one reason why a patient chooses a healthcare provider. Adams Drugs has been your trusted healthcare provider since 1962 and has been voted the number one pharmacy in the River region for many years. We strive each and every day to provide you the level of healthcare you have come to expect from Adams Drugs. The employees at Adams Drugs take pride in developing relationships with their patients, from making sure your prescriptions are filled correctly to getting to know you and your family's needs and following up on any questions you may have. Adams Drugs employees deliver top-notch service. We ask you to visit us at any of our locations in Montgomery, Prattville, Wetumpka, Millbrook, and Pine Level Marbury and give us a chance to earn your business. You can find us at adamsdrugs.net for the location that is nearest to you. Adams Drugs is your local, independently owned Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network is brought to you by Earnest Financial.
If you're tired of losing your money in the stock market, call David Earnest, 334-279-7431. Earnest Financial, LLC.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. The use of the extreme heat warning is a first since this product debuted last year. It's a step higher than a heat advisory. It happens when expected heat indices go above 110. Tonight, the chances of one of those evening storms is almost zero, but not quite. Overnight low temperature down to about 78. Tomorrow, more extreme, dangerous heat. The actual high temperature near 100, but the heat index may be up to about 110. And still teasing the 100-degree mark on Wednesday as well. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
On FM, on your smartphone, and online, the River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
She's got long blonde hair running down her back and pretty blue eyes, yeah, that's a fact. Her nose is just perfect and her smile just gleams. She looks like a model in a magazine. She got her itty-bitty body in a teeny tiny skirt. You can see her belly button neath her purple skimpy shirt. She's a California beauty who can stop the show. But there's one thing, fellas, that you got to know. She's my daughter. Yeah, she's my daughter. Ooh, you touch her or hurt her or make her sad, I'm gonna hurt you twice as bad. I don't mean emotionally. See, I'm the kind of guy that likes to have some fun, just drinking lots of liquor and polishing my gun. You wanna mess around with my pussy cat? I might just kill you with a baseball bat. I own a crowbar, steak knives, I got a hatchet, man. But hey, let's face it, I could kill you with my bare hands. I catch you making moves on her, I'll know just what to do. I'll shove my foot so far up there I could wear you as a shoe. She's my daughter. Whoa, 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 she's my daughter. Whoa, I'll sneak into your room where your mommy makes your bed in. I'll grab that surfer necklace and I'll beat your little head in. She's my daughter. Whoa, whoa.
my daughter. Ooh, come on over for dinner and meet us friendly folks. Just remember, little fella, this song is not a joke. Yeah.
Hey, there's nothing greater than being the father to a daughter.
Did you have to ever scare any boyfriends that came home with your daughter?
No.
That's not fun.
No. Don't want to do that. I did want to murder her ex-husband when he left her. That was like one of the worst times, of course, for her, but for me as well, because we really took the kid into the family and loved him like a son. So I hope you never have to go through that.
Yeah.
But she's always had good judgment, and in fact, I was talking about one of her boyfriends. She, for a while, dated a pitcher on the Florida Atlantic University baseball team, and I thought, well, that's cool. I brought him up this morning only because we were talking about Tommy John, who passed away, and he was only, I think, 20 years old and already had a Tommy John surgery, but had it done preemptively.
That's just crazy.
I agree. Because there are pitchers who pitch their whole career and don't need it. I don't know why they have such special elbows, but yeah, that's. Thought that was a little bit strange. So, and then the worst part was, went to a game in which he was pitching, and the first guy up hits like a 450-foot home run. And I felt bad because he knew we were there. And then 2 batters later, somebody else did the same thing. So it was the long walk off the mound and all that. I felt bad. You know, I think it's great that parents support little leaguers and stuff like that, but I don't always know that it's great for the kids in that they feel a pressure when mom and dad are there.
Right.
I remember in Little League, my mom and dad, I think, came to 1 game a year. And I tried so hard and wanted so hard to impress them that I didn't really play my best. So and today, coaches and everything, they have these great fields and they take everything so seriously. I think some of the fun gets lost in that.
I would agree.
So, but anyway, and I felt bad for him. I mean, he threw the ball well, threw a good fastball, just got tagged. It's the way it works. I feel like playing that clip we started the show with today with the guy that hit the 3 home runs in his first 3 trips to the plate. But I have 5,000 tabs open, and I wouldn't even know where to look for that. At 5:52, today we hit a high. Rich texted us during the show.
Over 100 for sure. I think.
Yes, and a heat index that hit a 111.
Oof.
And something tells me that tomorrow they're going to try and do the same thing. Well, the airport says the high was 99. Like, big deal, big whoop. And there's nothing on the radar. All this heat is not cooking up storms, not near us. Maybe in the northern part of the state. There's a bunch up there. Well, any of those one? No, everything's going to stay north of us.
Yeah, I saw the 7-day. It looks like kind of mid-90s. It's like at church yesterday. I said, hey, you know, one of these days it's going to be fall weather and college football, but just not today.
Wait a minute. Rich just said, I was just looking at the radar. He says converging outflow boundaries could produce a storm right on top of us.
Interesting.
And he sent a little video link. Yeah, the one I saw that said was going to stay north looks like they're going to collide in our neck of the woods, so maybe we will see some rain.
Nice.
That would be. Let's see who's on the phone at 5:53. Good afternoon.
Yes, sir. Hey, this is Kevin.
Kevin.
I'm one of your 20 baseball fans.
Hey, welcome. Good to hear from you.
But I was just listening to y'all talking about, baseball and all that junk with all the stuff. And the big problem with the thing is that parents are pushing these kids in Little League to do stuff they shouldn't be doing.
Mm-hmm.
They're 9, 10, 11 years old, and they're trying to make them throw curveballs
Right.
and sliders, and all you need to do is change pitches. You know, just off-speed fastball. It's just same pitch, just slow it down, little bit of a difference. But what made me think about it was Bob Feller. Bob Feller pitched for the Indians in the 50s.
Yes, I remember Bob Feller.
And yes, sir. And he made the comment that baseball is a game for kids. Adults only tend to screw it up.
Mm.
And that's what I wanted to say.
They
Anyway,
have
I
screwed
know
it
it's
up.
late in the
Besides, they
show.
got more science, they've got more technology, they got more insights into health, better training facilities and equipment, and players are dropping like flies every day. It's either
Yes,
an
sir.
oblique
Yes,
or
sir.
a hamstring or a calf, and I'm out for 4 months, and it's just ridiculous.
Yep, it's constant.
Baseball's a game for a guy with more of a dad bod than a Superman bod, because you got to be flexible. You're always getting into weird positions to scoop the ball up or whatever. You can't be wired like a frickin' piano, because those strings are
Right.
going to pop.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thanks for
And that
making
always
me
made
sound
mad,
intelligent.
but
What?
anyway, y'all have a great. I enjoyed the show today. And
Thank you.
Y'all have a great day. I'll hear you tomorrow.
Thanks for
Bye.
being one of the 23.
I met Bob Feller back in the day. Our local farm team was provided for the Cubs, and he came there. He was signing balls.
You know what? If they had had radar then, like they do now, he would have been throwing at 100 and 105, somewhere in that range. Fastest, I remember then they didn't have radar. So they timed it. They had a motorcycle traveling at 100 miles an hour, and he had to throw the ball to see if the motorcycle beat the ball to home
crazy.
plate, that kind of stuff. Crazy. But that's the way it was. I'm Walter Cronkite.
And we have a new accident reported on Ann Street, right under the bridges at I-85. Please watch out for those folks. Busy conditions everywhere else. A couple other minor accidents.